There you go, Bob Allen Motor Mall, Hometown Radio Network, teaming up every morning to honor America with a playing of our national anthem. Our phone number this morning to call in is 859-238-WHIR. That's 238-9447. So glad to have you right here on the Joe Show this morning, getting your birthdays and your anniversaries on here as we celebrate birthdays that celebrate on this Wednesday, the 28th day of May. All right, birthdays today look like this. Happy birthday to Randy Robinson, Patricia Griffin, Dalton Sebastian, Apollos Ross, Bambi Cliff, Hannah Murphy, and Chad Thomas are the birthdays celebrating this morning on May the 28th. There you go, Randy Robinson, Patricia Griffin, Dalton Sebastian, Apollos Ross, Bambi Cliff, Hannah Murphy, and Chad Thomas. Get them on the Joe Show. We'll celebrate together today on the radio. 859-238-9447. It's a Wednesday. It's the 28th day of May, and so glad to have you right here on the Joe Show celebrating on this Wednesday morning. It's a typical Wednesday morning show we have lined up for you, though. Our 9 o'clock in the morning hour is going to be packed, and we're excited about that. We'll talk about that here in just a second. First guest will be on here this morning at 7:20. That'll be Boyle County baseball coach Adam Blair, who will join the show this morning talking about his Rebels with a 2-1 win over not West Jessamine, over Somerset last night. They'll play West Jessamine tonight in the 12th Region Championship game, where the winner moves on to the state tournament next Thursday. And it'll be the first time that Boyle County has played in the region championship game since 2018, where they won the region championship in the second of back-to-back years in 2017 and 2018. We'll talk with Coach Blair at 7:20 this morning. 7:40, County Agents Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. Telephone Tyler calls in this morning. Tyler Miller, who joins the show. We'll see what's going on with Tyler and the County Agents Corner at 7:40. In the 8 o'clock in the morning hour, State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe will join the show at 8:10, and we'll see what's going on with our state senator. She, I believe, is back from a trip to Israel now. Went to Israel for a couple of weeks, and we'll talk with her this morning at 8:10. In the 9 o'clock in the morning hour, at 9:10, we have Heritage Hospice on their show. Their Bereavement Children's Camp is coming up in the month of June, and we'll talk, I believe it's with Jacob Bryant, one of my longtime friends who's the chaplain there at Hospice. He'll be on the show at 9:10 this morning. 9:35, we've got Heather Clary coming on the show from the Better Business Bureau, the BBB. And we may make this a monthly segment. Heather's got a lot of great information regarding the Better Business Bureau and scams to look out for, particularly now in the wake of flooding and really bad storms Kentucky has seen, and what we need to be looking out for and make sure we're not getting scammed by people who are just not trustworthy individuals. And Heather with the Better Business Bureau will join us this morning at 9:35 about that. That's the rundown of today's show. We'd love to have you on. Our phone number to call in this morning, 859-238-WHIR, 238-9447. Going to be a great Wednesday for us. The radio station is hosting their client golf outing this afternoon, so we'll have some people out golfing with the radio station. We've got Region Baseball Championship action tonight at Boyle County. What more could you ask for? We start you off taking a look at early morning sports, and the NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 5 was yesterday. I guess Game 4, sorry. Game 4 was yesterday. The Pacers take a 3-1 series lead. Bryce Harper injured, and Kirk Cousins not in attendance at OTAs. Those are the headlines on this Wednesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis, guiding you through these Wednesday morning sports, starting off in the NBA, where this time the New York Knicks dug themselves a hole too big. 2 days after they clawed back from a 20-point deficit to pull out a much-needed win, New York could not overcome its fourth-quarter deficit last night as the Pacers took Game 4 130-121 to secure a commanding 3-1 series series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Indiana offense did go cold for a stretch in the middle of the fourth quarter, hitting just one field goal during a span of more than 5:35 of game time. That allowed the Knicks to charge in a 10-2 run that momentarily closed the deficit down to 6, but Indiana responded with timely buckets. Indiana also took advantage of being in the bonus for most of the quarter, with the Knicks going on a stretch of 12 seconds around the 8-minute mark in which they were whistled for 4 fouls. Pacers All-Star guard Tyrese Halliburton carried Indiana with a 32-point, 15-assist, 12-rebound triple-double on 11 of 23 shooting. Halliburton was crucial in collecting rebounds and getting the Pacers to sprint out in transition, where Indiana earned a 22-9 edge on fast break points. Indiana leads the Eastern Conference Finals 3-1. In Major League Baseball, Philadelphia Phillies star Bryce Harper was removed early from yesterday's game against the Atlanta Braves after he was hit in the elbow by a pitch. The injury occurred in the bottom of the first inning when a 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Braves pitcher Spencer Strider drilled Harper, who was immediately in pain. After trying to walk it off, he went down to the ground and didn't move his right arm. Team medical personnel attended to Harper before escorting him back to the dugout. Harper was hit on that same arm he had Tommy John surgery on in November of 2022. He missed the first month plus of 2023 before he came back in May, marking the fastest return on record by a Major League Baseball player who underwent Tommy John surgery. 160 days was how many days he was out. In the National Football League, this week marks the beginning of off-season training activities, or OTAs, for NFL teams across the league. 20 teams took to the field on May 27th for the first day of the 4-week training program. The Atlanta Falcons were one of the first teams to take the field, with one notable absence, quarterback Kirk Cousins. Falcons coach Raheem Morris said Cousins was not at the opening day of voluntary activities. Cousins is coming off a down year by his standards, where he was benched later on in the year for Falcons rookie quarterback Michael Penix. In high school baseball, the Boyle County Rebels did it last night with a win 2-1 over Somerset in a pitcher's duel, where Kyler Clont struck out 11 Briar jumpers. They'll face off against West Jessamine tonight. Boyle County versus West Jessamine in the 12th Region Championship game. The winner moves on to next week's state tournament. We'll have that 6 o'clock first pitch live tonight on Z105. That's what's going on in sports. I'm Joe Mathis for the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's Lee's Famous Recipes 3-Piece Special Day. You get 3 pieces of famous or crispy chicken or our famous strips, your choice of 2 sides, and a buttermilk biscuit, all just $8.26 tax included. A savings of almost $2. Catch the Danville Special, a piece of their famous fish, chicken strip, a side of your choice, and buttermilk biscuit for one low price. Lee's caters at 859-236-8777. The best value every Wednesday is a 3-piece chicken dinner for only $8.26. Lee's Famous Recipe in Danville on South 4th.
Spring's finally here, and that means spring cleaning. While you're cleaning, the folks at your local electric cooperative encourage you to check for electrical safety hazards. Start in the bathroom and kitchen. Do the outlets in those rooms have ground fault circuit interrupters? Then move on to the rest of the house, paying special attention to extension cords. Check all your cords to make sure they're not worn, cracked, or frayed. We're Kentucky's electric cooperatives, and our power is our people.
Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Ready Joe, brought to you by our friends over at All Together Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. All Together Recovery Center is now open in Danville. Patchy fog this morning before 10 o'clock. Another just kind of dreary, misty day for us, at least in the morning hours. A high of 74. A low tonight, 58. Tomorrow, you get partly sunny skies, a high of 77. Low tomorrow night of 58 and about a half an inch of rain possible. Friday, mostly cloudy, 70 is the high. Saturday, sunny and 75. It's 6:26 in the morning right now. It is 58 degrees in Danville. Wednesday, the 28th day of May. And so glad to have you on the show and celebrating celebrity birthdays with you on this 28th day of May. Starting off with Gladys Knight, who turns 81 years old today, known as the Empress of Soul, with hits like Midnight Train to Georgia and Neither One of Us. Here's a clip of Gladys Knight talking about leaving Gladys Knight and the Pips.
I came up with the idea of just, hey, let me just go and see what I could do on my own. I told my brother, I have to go. And he was upset by that because he knew the group that we had known for 40 years. It's about to come to an end.
Yeah, Gladys Knight, 81 years old today. Other celebrity birthdays include former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, the 107th mayor of New York City from 1994 to 2001, was dubbed America's mayor. He gained international prominence in the aftermath of September 11, 2001 and the World Trade Center attacks and was named Time Person of the Year. He has since kind of fallen out of the great graces of America. Rudy Giuliani, 81 years old today. NFL offensive tackle Michael Orr is 39, earned unanimous All-American honors at Mississippi, was drafted by the Ravens in the first round of the 09 draft, and his life is chronicled in the movie The Blind Side, starring Tim McGraw. Michael Orr, 39 years old today, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio turns 54, and the late James Bond author Ian Fleming would have had a birthday today as well. His work sold 30 million books during his lifetime. Celebrity birthdays on this Wednesday, the 28th day of the month of May, folks.
Country music.
All right then, Mr. Voice. It was on this date, country music history, in the year 1944 in Letcher County, Kentucky, where Gary Stewart was born. Country musician and songwriter known for his distinctive vibrato voice and his southern rock influence, born on this date in Letcher County, Kentucky. It was on this date in country music history, 1964, Lynchburg, Virginia, the place. Phil Vassar is the person, country music singer, mostly known for being a songwriter. He wrote many great #1 hits. And it was on this date, country music history, 1988, Kathy Mateo went #1 on the country charts with her song 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses. And that's what's gone on this date, May the 28th, in the history of country music. We don't have time for a lot. Only a minute to go till bottom hour news, but we do have to focus on Gary Stewart this morning, the Kentucky native. Gary Stewart. During the mid-1970s, Time magazine described him as the king of honky tonk. His biggest hit was this one, a #1 hit in 1975 called She's Actin' Single and I'm drinking doubles. Stewart died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in December of 2003, a few weeks after his wife had died from pneumonia. Gary Stewart would have been 81 years old today, born in Letcher County, Kentucky.
I poured myself a drink somewhere. She's acting single. I'm drinking double.
There you go. Happy what would have been 81st today to the Kentucky native Gary Stewart. 6:30 in the morning, and Kentucky News is coming your way with KNN.
My heart is breaking.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A plea deal is being reached nearly 10 years after the murder of a Lincoln County woman. In September of 2016, the body of 22-year-old Desiree Sparks was found in a remote area just weeks after she had been reported as missing. Several years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with her murder. Stamper has agreed to an Alford plea and is scheduled to be sentenced on Friday. Bullitt County fire crews are coming to the aid of their brethren in Laurel County. John Shannon has more.
10 days after the destruction was left behind, first responders in Bullitt County answered the call to help. WLKY reports that 13 firefighters from Shepherdsville, Zoneton, and Mount Washington were dispatched to the area on Monday. The team's primary role is to relieve firefighters who live in the disaster area. According to Zoneton Fire Chief Kevin Moulton, the 13 firefighters will spend 63 hours a day in Laurel County as a way to give back to the fire department that has worked tirelessly over the past week and a half. The firefighters will make the trip back to Bullitt County on Thursday. I'm John Shannon.
An investigation is underway after a vehicle pulled from a Kenton County river was found to have a body inside it. Officials say that on Monday, a truck was pulled from the Licking River in Morning View. There has been no word on what caused the truck to go into the water or the identity of the man found inside the vehicle. A family in Kentucky is cleaning up after a bear fell through their kitchen ceiling. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife says it was determined that the black bear had climbed up a ladder, got into an opening in the home's attic, and then crashed through the ceiling, landing on the kitchen stove. Arriving officers were able to get the bear out of the home by getting it to run through an open door. No injuries were reported in the incident. I'm Joe Lincoln.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Mike Gay here. At Essity, we're committed to making the world a healthier, more hygienic place, starting right here in Harrodsburg and Danville. We're hiring machine operators where you'll work with cutting-edge technology to produce essential products like hand towels and tissue paper. Our wages start at $20 per hour with benefits on day one and opportunity for growth. If you're a high school grad ready to make an impact, visit ESSITY.com/careers. That's Essity.com/careers.
Hey, it's me again. That's right, I'm Jerry Farmer, and I'm still cutting up. Still Cutting Up is a place to go when you need a fresh cut or a mini afro. Perms, colors, nails, too. Braids, highlights, and even updo. I know you done heard of us, so get with it. I know you need your hair did. Here's our digit, 238-7899. Bob your head while I rhyme. 24/7, we won't be beat. 365 on South 4th Street. See ya. See ya.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the 2nd floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just 1 day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Wisiger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Do you need a loan to start that new home remodeling project? Maybe you are buying a new home or refinancing your existing home. Whatever type of loan you need, Farmers National Bank is here to help you. Getting started is easy. Stop by a Farmers National Bank office in Danville, Bergen, Harrodsburg, Junction City, Lancaster, Liberty, Middleburg, Perryville, and Stanford, and talk to a member of our lending staff. Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank. Some restrictions may apply. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Randy Gipp Graham. If you want to start your weekend off in a winning way, propelling you into a new work week, then join with our team every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock on the Kentucky Power Hour. Sure, we talk current events, politics, a little sports, and a lot about leadership, but with you, the listener, in mind. So start your day off in a winning way. Right here on the Happy Station, WHIR.
The Kentucky Power Hour on AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Hey there, Ready Joe, brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Dabs Danville Auto Body Shop. That's 315 Dillahay. Get a free estimate, and they work with their insurance company, fixing water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and paintless dent repair. Danville Auto Body Shop. All right, patchy fog this morning, drizzly, cloudy, rainy, and I mentioned yesterday during the baseball broadcast, it almost felt like a fall evening, just with the cloudiness and drizzliness of yesterday. Kind of the same thing today, and especially this morning. 74 is the high, though, 58 the low for Region Baseball Championship night. Boyle County, the Rebels, trying to make it to the state tournament. They got to go through West Jessamine. Lots of great storylines in this West Jessamine versus Boyle County matchup, but none better than West Jessamine with two coaches. They've got kind of like shared head coaching duties. Austin Kearns, former Cincinnati Red, is one of those coaches. Blake Perry is the other one. Blake is the uncle of Logan Perry, who plays for Boyle County. So it's a Perry versus Perry matchup tonight, and I'm sure the Perry family is giddy about that. That's going to be a fun storyline to track. And Blake and Austin Kearns took over the West Jessamine program just a couple of weeks ago after just some changes were made and needed some coaches to fill in the rest of the year. Now they have West Jessamine one game away from making the state tournament, and he'll be going against his nephew's team. And that'll be a fun matchup and a fun storyline tonight. 6 o'clock first pitch, Boyle County and West Jessamine. Will have it on Z105. Let's see, weather-wise tomorrow, partly sunny, 77. We hope the rain stays away because Boyle softball will play tomorrow night at Southwestern. They were supposed to play last night. The game in Southwestern's 12th region tournament down there postponed 2 nights until tomorrow night. And hopefully rain stays away for that. Friday rain showers are likely as well. Right now, 6:38 in the morning. It's 58 degrees. Wednesday, the 28th day of May. Larry Vaught has got Vaught's Views for us. Larry, here you go.
Vaught's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air. Featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
The more you talk with recent Kentucky Basketball Edition Reese Potter, the more you have to like him. The former Lexington Catholic standout is transferring to UK after 2 years at Miami of Ohio. And if there was ever a perfect coach for him, it would seem to be Mark Pope. Potter is a 7-foot center who really had no need to showcase his three-point shooting or ball handling in high school because he was always bigger than opponents. But he showed at Miami that he could only make a three-point shot, but he could also handle the ball and is a nifty passer. No, he's not as big as Amari Williams. Potter says he is looking forward to showing, though, he can do many of the same things that Williams did last season and believes he is an underrated passer, and I think he is right. Potter says it is actually an advantage as a passer when you're as tall as he is if you understand how to make the right pass and have players who know where to be like his UK teammates will do.
Lots Views will return in a moment.
On the 400-mile sale, you'll discover Highway 68 treasures. June 5th through 8th, Kentucky Highway 68 comes alive with barn sales, yard sales, and sidewalk sales. 400 miles of sales. So much to see and do that you'll need 400mile.com to find everything. Sales can be categorized by your favorite items, find unique eateries, and comfortable night stays. 400mile.com is your treasure map to the 400-mile sale, June 5th through 8th.
Reese Potter tries to be a mismatched nightmare for opponents. He knows if he makes three-point shots, it forces shot blockers to come further out on the court, and then he can either drive by the defender or pass to an open teammate for an easier shot. Potter actually takes as much pride in getting a teammate an open shot as he does scoring himself, and loved how Amari Williams could change the game last season at UK with his dribbling and passing. That's what Potter believes he can do, and if he's right, he's going to be the perfect fit for Mark Pope.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Oh, yeah, Larry Von Font's Views Mondays through Fridays right here on The Joe Show. At this time, WHIR Danville News, Talk Sports. It's summer, or it certainly is getting closer and closer to the summer season if temperatures will ever follow suit and really warm up for us. And there are a couple of workplace rules that you got to follow, like, for example, wearing the appropriate footwear to work.
Workplace rules number 22, proper summertime footwear.
During summer months, relaxed rules around work attire may include footwear that shows your ugly feet. Do not wear flip-flops to work because nobody wants to see your bent, squished toes or yellow cracked toenails like dinosaur claws. Yuck! No flip-flops, okay? And maybe get a freaking pedicure because what is wrong with you?
Be with us next time on Workplace Rules when we discuss trimming one's toenails at work.
Ooh! Let's see what's going on in this morning's World of Good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I'm right there with you. These stories remind us of the silver lining in the cloud over all of our heads. My way of sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, you better give it up on the piano for Mr. Floyd Kramer. Good news action for you on this Wednesday morning, and here we go. Story number 1 coming from New York, where while returning from prom, 4 high school students in Macy, New York, spotted a house fire and sprang into action to rescue the family inside. The teenagers called 911, alerted the residents, and helped guide children and their father to safety before the fire intensified. Their quick thinking and bravery likely prevented a tragedy and turned prom night into an unforgettable act of heroism. Aiden Kane describes rescuing the family. It happened in New York recently.
I slammed the knock on the door. There was 2 little girls and a dad. I grabbed the girls, ran them across the street to where my girlfriend to comfort them because they were really upset.
Yeah, story number 2 coming from Arizona. Tonalea, Arizona, where Chi Sakoti is a 94-year-old Korean War veteran in Tonalea, Arizona, and has received electricity in his home for the first time ever. The milestone was made possible by linemen from Utah's Murray City Power, who are helping to bring power to the remote Navajo Nation community. The moment marked a deeply emotional and transformative event for Sakoti and his family. And story number 3 is coming from Jacksonville, Florida, when 77-year-old Joyce Long suffered cardiac arrest while driving. A stranger, Ratonia Watts, stepped in to help, likely saving her life. Watts acted quickly by calling 911 and staying with Joyce until emergency responders revived her after multiple rounds of CPR and defibrillation. The emotional encounter formed a powerful bond between 2 families who are both dealing with recent losses as well. The good news, a woman who went into cardiac arrest while driving credits a stranger for saving her life. A Navajo man gets electricity for the first time ever at the age of 94. And a couple of teenagers headed home from prom save a family from a house fire. That's what's going on in this morning's World of Absolute Good, folks. Floyd Kramer, take us home, buddy, it's all yours. Solstice at Sunrise is coming up next.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
We've definitely won a lot more races since then.
I want to experience all those things. I just don't want to run the race.
I won. No one can tell me what to do.
I'm Mark Darrow, and this is PRN's Garage Pass.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
William Byron might have suffered a frustrating defeat in the Coca-Cola 600, but the weekend wasn't a total loss since he won the Xfinity Series race, regained the lead in the Cup Series regular season point standings, and now has a new 4-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports. I asked Byron how different were negotiations on his third contract with Mr. H than the first.
We've definitely won a lot more races since then, and all the conversations I think this time around were really positive. So, the last time around I was just starting to kind of find my footing in the Cup Series.
Meanwhile, teammate Kyle Larson's bid to run the double failed again in a big way. Instead of 1,100 miles between wrecks at Indianapolis and Charlotte, he ran only 597. Indiana native Chase Briscoe was asked if one day he'd like to take a shot at the Indy 500.
I get asked this question typically every May, and I tell people the same answer. I just want to start and park the 500. I want to do the pre-race. I want to do all those cool things. I want to take the green flag, but I just don't have the desire to race it.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
After he won the Coke 600, it took Ross Chastain forever to get to victory lane. He did a Polish victory lap in honor of former champ Alan Kulwicki. Then there was the burnout that melted his back tires. And, of course, his famous watermelon smash.
I won. No one can tell me what to do. When I win, I'm going to soak this in, because at times I didn't. Winning truck races or Xfinity races and then racing Cup the next day is like the best thing, but the worst because you can't celebrate it, and I like beer.
Got it. PRN's Garage Pass. Not narrow-minded, Garrow-minded.
Get that graduate something special or the Father's Day gift you've been wanting at B&O Jewelers. They've increased their buying power for you. They're loyal customers at the Big Deals online store. You can purchase a $50 gift certificate from B&O Jewelers for just $29, or get this, 4 $50 gift certificates, a $200 value for just $100. That means you only pay half price. Stay in style with a visit to Anderson's Lifestyle Boutique in Danville. Get a $50 gift certificate for only $35. $10 gift certificates to the Bread of Life in Liberty are just $7. Give that sweet tooth what it wants at Sweets by Cindy in Junction City. $10 gift certificates are half price is $5. Applebee's Grill and Bar in Danville. Get a $10 gift certificate for just $7.50. $22 Pioneer Playhouse gift certificates are back. You get an entertaining $5 savings at just $17. Come clean with a visit to Thoroughbred Auto Wash in Danville. $20 car washes are just half price at $10. Check out these and many more great savings at our Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. hometownlive.net.
Serving Boyle County seniors, a gathering place.
Our Adult Day Healthcare Services provide independence through assistance for adults with special needs ages 21 and over. Our participants enjoy games, reality orientation, cognitive and physical activities, exercise, music and craft programs, while offering families freedom and peace of mind knowing their loved ones are cared for in a safe, supportive environment. Visit thegatheringplace.org. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for more info.
Discover the power of radio. If you own a retail business, you should consider radio to influence new and repeat customers throughout the buying cycle. People frequently compare prices, quality, and service. You want your name to be consistently fresh in their minds when they ultimately decide to make their purchase. Discover the power of radio.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
Talk Kentucky Sports, weekday mornings at 10 with Matt Jones and Kentucky Sports Radio, right here on AM 1230 WHIR.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by
The Little Sign Shop and our new owners and operators. The Little Sign Shop has got you covered. They do full-color digital printing, magnetic signs, auto signage, and they offer logo design in Danville. Where 2nd and 4th Streets meet, call them 859-238-7391 for the Little Sign Shop. Patchy fog. It is a drizzly, misty morning for us. High today 74, low tonight 58. And if I'm not mistaken, tonight, or today, I guess, is the last day of school for Mercer County. Tomorrow, the last day of school for Boyle County. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 77. Friday, mostly cloudy, and 70 is the high. Right now, it is 6:53 in the morning, 58 degrees, 100% hilarious. So bad they're good. Warning, these may make you cringe. It's time for everyone's 6th favorite segment on the Joe Show every morning. It is the Dad Joke of the Day, and here we go.
Dad Joke of the Day.
The Dad Joke of the Day. Immediately after Rebecca gave birth to our youngest son, our most recent child born back in December, Truett. Immediately after the birth of Truett, I gave Rebecca strawberries, apples, and bananas. She was exhausted, and I gave her a basket of strawberries, apples, and bananas. I told her that she deserved to enjoy the fruits of her labor. There you go. The Dad Joke of the Day, Mondays through Fridays, right here on the Joe Show, WHIR Danville News Talk Sports.
Welcome to the planet of the apps.
All right, a quick question from Rick Dees here. Okay, what is it? What is a VPN? VPN. VPN, a virtual private network. And probably you need one. People coming in, have you noticed that hackers got into the bank last week? Hackers got into this, hackers, whatever. A VPN is needed. It's an encrypted connection over the internet from your device. You need it. And the best app? The VPN Super Unlimited Proxy. Once again, it's called VPN Super Unlimited Proxy. It's rated way up there. What is it? Why would you use it? Well, first of all, no limits on use for unlimited time, unlimited data, unlimited bandwidth, so you don't have to register, no login required. So it's one way you can ensure your privacy. Try it. We did. It works. VPN Super Unlimited Proxy. Because right now, somewhere, in some country, someone is trying to get your personal info. Don't let it happen. VPN Super Unlimited Proxy, right here with Rick Dees in today's molten magma known as the Planet of the Apps.
There you go, Ricky Dees, the Planet of the Apps, Mondays through Fridays right here on the Joe Show at this time. Leads us into this morning's Country Comic Spotlight, where Tim Hawkins is here in the spotlight and talking about being booked to sing at a wedding. Tim Hawkins, he's a Christian comedian, Country Comic Spotlight. Here he is.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, music helps us out a lot. I love to sing. I sing in weddings, believe it or not. Why don't y'all shut your mouth? I had a friend call me not too long ago. He said, dude, I'm getting married. I want you to sing at my wedding. I'm like, okay, I'd be honored. When are you getting married? He goes, in 2 weeks. I'm like, well, thanks for the heads up. And I said, well, when do you want? He goes, well, my friend I wanted to sing, he fell through, so I called you. Well, flattered, thank you. I said, okay, when do you want me to sing to the wedding? He goes, well, when the bride's walking down the aisle. I want you to sing then. You sure about that? I said, okay, well, what do you want me to sing? He goes, you pick. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Half of me's going, no way. The other half of me's like, I can make this a wedding no one's ever going to forget. There's a lot of songs wouldn't go well. Very appropriate at a wedding. We're walking down that. What's love got to do? Got to do. That wouldn't be very appropriate. Heard it from a friend who. Heard it from a friend who. Heard it from another. You've been messing around. That wouldn't be good at all. She's my best friend's girl, but she used to be mine. That wouldn't be good. Might lose a friend over that one. Oh, there's worse. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. You can't always get what you want, but you can try sometimes. You might find you get what you need. Who gives this woman? Cut.
Tim Hawkins in the Country Comic Spotlight with inappropriate wedding songs. Rick Dees and the Planet of the Apps and the dad joke of the day, Mondays through Fridays here on the Joe Show at this time. Jimmy Kimmel joking last night on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live about Memorial Day.
A good long weekend. I hope you had a good Memorial Day. Yesterday was Memorial Day, the day on which we remember the sacrifices our fellow Americans made to protect the freedoms we now willingly give up in exchange for a red baseball cap.
Jimmy Kimmel on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live. We also had Tim Hawkins in the Country Comic Spotlight. Rick Dees in this morning's Planet of the Apps and the dad joke of the day. Mondays through Fridays right here on the Joe Show at this time. 103.9 FM, WHIR, Danville News, Talk Sports. Oh, 6:58. We are a minute away from top hour news on WHIR Danville.
Folks, the Memorial Day sale is going on now through the end of May at Mattresses and More, located in Southland Plaza right next to Ace Hardware. Right now, you save up to 30% off on all new merchandise arriving weekly. That includes mattresses, bedroom suits, living room suits, recliners, and so much more. Again, this Memorial Day sale through the end of May, come in and get it now and save up to 30% off. Also, get 12 months same as cash with your good credit at Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza, Houstonville Road, Danville.
The Bread of Life Cafe in Casey County, Highway 127, proudly serves several all-you-can-eat buffets. Start out with the lunch buffet, $13.99. Thursday, after 4, seniors 55 and older can experience the buffet for $9.99. Friday after 4, swimming for the seafood buffet, $19.99. Saturday morning breakfast buffet, 7 till 10:30, $10.99. And Saturday after 4, making way to the evening buffet for $14.99. Feed your tummy and your soul with a visit to the Bread of Life Cafe, 5 miles south of Liberty on Highway 127. Open till 8, Monday through Thursday night, Friday and Saturday till 9.
All right, 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:10, breaking and trending 7:20. Hoping to have Boyle baseball coach Adam Blair on the show this morning and talking about that big win for the Rebels in tonight's game versus West Jessamine at 7 o'clock.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The Trump administration is pausing student visa interviews. Nick Harper reports a move was announced in a cable sent to U.S. embassies worldwide.
The directive, seen by several news outlets and signed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, said that effective immediately, no new interviews should be scheduled. The cable said it was in preparation for an expansion of required social media screening and vetting.
Details about what the possible social media vetting would screen for were not provided. The COVID vaccine is no longer being recommended by the CDC for pregnant women and healthy children. More from Mark Mayfield.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made the announcement in a video posted on X Tuesday.
Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data.
Previously, the CDC had recommended the vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. This comes after the FDA announced last week that new COVID shots would no longer be routinely approved for healthy children and adults. There isn't a COVID shot mandate for anyone in the U.S.
President Trump is pardoning a pair of reality TV stars convicted of fraud. In 2022, Todd and Julie Chrisley, known for their show Chrisley Knows Best, were found guilty of defrauding Georgia banks out of millions of dollars.
Meet Todd Chrisley. He's the patriarch of perfection.
We're not perfect. But perfect should be something you should strive to be.
On Tuesday, Trump reportedly called their children to announce he'd pardoned the couple. Todd Chrisley has been serving out a 12-year sentence while his wife Julie is serving 7 years following their convictions on fraud and tax evasion charges. Wall Street opens this morning after a big rally Tuesday. This came after President Trump says he's delaying 50% tariffs on the European Union until July 9th. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Something amazing is happening in business. More companies are turning to Mac. From finance to fulfillment, CDW will seamlessly support Mac integration into your organization. With the power of Apple Silicon, best-in-class security, and compatibility across your favorite apps, your team will have the performance they need and the tools they love. Make amazing happen. Mac and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/Apple.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored.
President Trump says Canada could pay as much as $61 billion to be protected by his so-called Golden Dome. Tammy Trujillo explains.
Or they could get it for free by joining the U.S. Trump made the announcement on Truth Social Tuesday and claimed Canada very much wants to be part of his proposed missile defense system and said it would cost them $0 if they become our cherished 51st state. His post said Canada is considering the offer. It came just hours after the UK's King Charles made a rare speech in Canada, emphasizing Canadian sovereignty. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
One country is targeting impatient flyers. Brian Shook has more.
Turkey is telling airline passengers that if they stand up too early when landing or crowd the aisle, they could face a $70 fine. Officials said there's been a serious increase in these cases, instructing passengers to wait until that seatbelt sign is turned off. They add it disrupts the orderly exit process and poses safety risks during taxiing. I'm Brian Shook.
Today is National Hamburger Day. Breed tennis with what's for lunch and or dinner.
Americans sink their teeth into 50 billion hamburgers every year. That's a lot, about 150 per person. And without the cheese, they're not all that bad for us. According to the Department of Agriculture, one burger has about 250 calories, lots of protein, but a lot of sodium and cholesterol. Today we'll focus on the good. There are deals from just about every burger joint coast to coast.
The HBO Harry Potter series has cast its Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Dominic McLaughlin will play Harry Potter. Arabella Stanton will star as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout will play Ron Weasley. Over 30,000 actors auditioned for the 3 roles. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Hi, I'm Brent Blevins, Public Health Director of the Boyle County Health Department, with an important message. The American Cancer Society estimates that nearly 3,500 deaths per year in Kentucky can be attributed to lung cancer. Most people are aware that cigarette smoking may contribute to lung cancer, but are unaware of another serious lung cancer threat, radon. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency states that prolonged exposure to elevated levels of radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Now, you may be asking yourself a few questions like, what is an elevated level of radon? Where does radon come from? Or, how can I tell if radon is in my home? Your Boyle County Health Department stands ready to answer your questions and help determine if your family may be at risk. Simply contact our environmental staff at 859-236-2053. The health of your family depends on it.
Good morning to you. It's Wednesday. It's the 28th day of May, a day where we get cloudy skies, rain showers, drizzly, patchy fog on this Wednesday morning, 12th Region Baseball Championship night. Rebels versus the Colts. We'll have it for you at 6 o'clock tonight on Z105. But we got to get there first. We're still 11 hours to go until first pitch. And let's give you local news right now, brought to you by Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
At Stuart Powell Ford Mazda, we are proud to be your hometown dealer for many reasons. Selection, service, convenient location, and our people. Your friends, family, and neighbors. Since 1949 at Stuart Powell, we make it easy. Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. Visit us on the bypass in Danville or online at stuartpowell.com.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade, and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the 2nd floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just one day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Wisiger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This morning's local news was a service of Stewart Powell Ford Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stewartpowell.com.
Listen to WHIR online at hometownlive.net, powered by Kentucky, YMAX.com.
Authentic Mexican grocery store, cakes, fresh produce, piñatas, boots, belts, and more. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. Family owned and operated, offering the best Mexican products created. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. And to make your tummy smile, Taco Yumas, their on-site food truck that's also available for catering and events. So where do you go for authentic Mexican product? La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. In Danville on Houstonville Road.
Curamed is a top-selling curcumin product in America for good reason. Curamed from Terry Naturally provides remarkable health benefits. Make sure you insist on a bestseller. Insist on Curamed. We're so confident Curamed will offer the results you deserve. We guarantee it or your money back.
Curamed is on sale now, only at the Danville Nutrition Center. Save 25% off on both Curamed and Curamin for pain. Danville Nutrition Center is located at 802 South 4th Street in Danville.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, that's awfully nice of you there, buddy boy. That's not Jack, that's Rayleigh. I'm just so used to it being Jack. I gotta get out of that mindset. Thank you there, Rayleigh. Brought to you by the Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses. That's some big-time discounts. Entertainment tickets available up to 50% every day. The Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. Scattered showers are moving through. There's actually kind of a part in the system in those spotty showers. North of us in Mercer County, south of us in Lincoln County, they were getting it, but it was parting right over Boyle. So if you saw some rain, it was going to be very light. And, again, I can't tell looking out the magic window. It's just so foggy and misty right now, whether or not it's raining or how hard it is raining. And it's going to be one of those types of days. Foggy, misty, cloudy morning continues to the afternoon today. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 77. Rain shower chances tomorrow night into Friday, where mostly cloudy skies hit us Friday and a high of 70. Right now, it's 7:12 in the morning. It's 58 degrees in Danville. So glad to have you right here on The Joe Show on 103.9 FM. WHIR Danville News, Talk Sports. 859-238-9447 is the phone number to call in, and we're so glad to have you on the show. 238 WHIR.
Send your favorite feline to Camp Kitty, the only summer camp just for cats. Your cat will enjoy many fun activities like water skiing and sports like baseball.
Catch it, Kitty! It's coming right for you!
And of course, campfire sing-alongs. All this and more at Camp Kitty, where we turn the dog days of summer into the cat days.
There you go. Let's see what's breaking and trending this morning here on The Joe Show. Starting off here where Elon Musk says he is, quote, disappointed by the cost of President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. Musk said in a preview of an interview set to air this weekend on CBS Sunday Morning that he was disappointed to see the massive spending bill because he feels it undermines the work that DOGE is doing. It passed the House last Thursday and looks to extend the tax cuts brought on by the president during his first term in 2017, as well as boost border and deportation funding. The controversial bill will also slash Medicaid and cut Medicare. Musk noted, quote, I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be big. It can be both. My personal opinion, is what Musk said. President Trump does say Canada could pay as much as $61 billion to be protected by his Golden Dome, or they could get it for free by joining the U.S. Trump took to Truth Social yesterday and claimed Canada, quote, very much wants to be a part of his proposed missile defense system and said it would cost them $0 if they become our cherished 51st state. His post said Canada is considering the offer. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney responded by saying his country will remain sovereign and noted Canada is not interested in the free offer. The Golden Dome will cost about $175 billion to create. 3/4 of all moms in the U.S. are struggling with some degree of mental health issues. A study published yesterday by Columbia University looked at nearly 200,000 mothers over a 7-year period and found only 25% reporting excellent mental health. That's down from 38% in 2016. The study also shows declines in physical health among U.S. mothers, especially among those who are single, younger, less educated, and whose children were multiracial or uninsured. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. announced that COVID-19's vaccine is no longer recommended for children that are healthy and for pregnant women on the CDC's immunization schedule.
I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule.
I didn't even know it was on the CDC recommended immunization schedule to begin with, to be honest. Kennedy, a known vaccine skeptic, made the announcement in a video on X, standing with FDA Commissioner Marty McCary and NIH Director I can't say his last name. The decision skipped the usual process where the CDC's independent advisors vote on vaccine recommendations, surprising experts like Sean O'Leary from the American Academy of Pediatrics, who was not consulted. Only about 13% of kids and 14.5% of pregnant women got their latest COVID vaccine per the recent CDC data.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
That's Dr. Marty McCary who explains that policy shift. Lots of things going on in our breaking and trending world, including President Donald Trump pardoning Todd and Julie Chrisley. The couple, known for their show Chrisley Knows Best, was convicted in 2022 for scamming banks at over $30 million in loans and then hiding the money from the IRS. Todd got 12 years, Julie got 7. Trump called their daughter Savannah to share the news, saying they'd be, quote, free and clean soon, possibly by today. The call was posted online by a White House aide. Savannah, who spoke at the 2024 National Republican Convention, had been pushing for their release. Trump's pardon czar, Alice Johnson, was with him during that call. The Chrisleys' lawyer said the pardon fixes an unfair targeting of the couple due to their fame and their conservative views.
I don't know them, but give them my regards and wish them a good life. Yes. How are you?
I just want to say thank you for breaking my fear.
Yeah. Well, they were given a pretty harsh treatment based on what I'm hearing. Pretty harsh treatment. Yeah.
And SpaceX launched its 9th Starship test flight from Starbase, Texas yesterday, aiming to get closer to sending a human to Mars. The rocket, the biggest ever built, took off at 7:37 in the evening with a reused Super Heavy booster. It reached space, but a fuel leak caused the upper stage to spin out of control and break apart over the Indian Ocean. The booster also crashed during its planned splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico. SpaceX couldn't deploy mock satellites or test an engine relight due to the issues. Despite the failure, the company said the test gave useful data to improve future flights.
It's re-entering actively right now. And again, we did do what's called passivation. So you essentially vent all of your excess propellant overboard before you hit the atmosphere. That's a safety measure we can take on the ship while you still have contact with it. So that was done. It's now coming down in the predetermined hazard area that was cleared ahead of flight. Not controlled, so we're not going to get all of that reentry data that we're still really looking forward to.
There you go. That's what's breaking and trending this morning on the Joe Show on 103.9 FM. WHIR, Danville News Talk Sports. We've got the Big Daddy, who makes his morning debut coming up. And then Boyle County coach Adam Blair joins the show right after this on WHIR, Danville News Talk Sports. Take it away, Big Daddy. You are in the batter's box.
This Steve Bertram Sports Report is a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the Danville Bypass and online at stuartpowell.com.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore with Stuart Powell Ford Mazda here on the Bypass in Danville, where we make buying a vehicle easy. No fast talk, no high-pressure sales, no gimmicks or silly commercials. Just honest deals and a team that takes pride in doing business the right way. For over 75 years, we've built trust by treating our customers like family, offering fair prices and making sure you drive away with confidence. Stop by today and see just how easy it is to do business with us.
Come to Stuart Powell, we can do business.
Stop in at 225 South Danville Bypass.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Yesterday, Boyle County advanced to the 12th Region Baseball Finals with a 2-1 win over Somerset. The Rebels scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th on a suicide squeeze. Boyle will face West Jessamine, which blanked Pulaski County 1-0. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock this evening for Boyle County hosting West Jessamine on Z105. The 12th Region Fast Pitch Softball semifinals were postponed yesterday and will be played Thursday at Southwestern. At 8 o'clock, Boyle County plays host Southwestern on Z105. West Jessamine meets Pulaski County at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Congratulations to Boyle County Middle School, which was one of the Final Four schools in Kentucky's middle school baseball playoffs held this past Saturday at Lindsey Wilson College in Columbia. Boyle lost to eventual champion South Warren 2-1 in extra innings. The Eagles had 2 hits, South only 1. BC tied it up in the 6th, then had the potential lead run thrown out at the plate in extra innings. South Warren blanked Anderson County in the championship game 10-0. Anderson had eliminated Corbin 10-5. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals last night, Indiana defeated New York 130-121. The Pacers lead the Knicks 3-1. In the NHL West Finals, Edmonton downed Dallas 4-1 for their 3rd consecutive win. The Women's College World Series begins tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Florida plays Texas. Oklahoma meets Tennessee. Texas Tech faces Ole Miss, and UCLA takes on Oregon. In Major League Baseball yesterday, it was the Reds 7, Royals 2, Dodgers 9, Guardians 5, Phillies 2, Braves nothing, Cardinals 7, Orioles 4, and Cubs 4, Rockies 3 in 11 innings. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Summertime, 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 summertime.
We're all ready for some summertime fun and at a big deals price. Go to Beach Bend Park and Splash Lagoon Water Park with admission tickets just $30 at Big Deals online store at hometownlive.net. They're determined and dedicated to providing safe, clean fun for all guests this summer. Beach Bend has rides for everyone in the family, including the nationally recognized Kentucky Rumbler wooden roller coaster. There's the whole family ride, the wet adventure down the Whitewater Express. And there's plenty of fun at Splash Lagoon Water Park. A day of summer fun, plus included with your admission ticket, you get free parking, free sunscreen, free tubes, all at Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green. Just a 2-hour drive away, so get ready to pack up and go to Beach Bend Park with admission tickets just $30 for a full day of fun in the sun. Go to hometownlive.net and click on Big Deals.
So shop now.
Shop now, buy now. Also save $5 on Pioneer Playhouse tickets.
Republic Services of Kentucky offers a single-source solution for all of your disposal needs, servicing residential, commercial, and industrial customers with offerings that include recycling and other disposal options. You have enough to worry about on a daily basis. Leave waste disposal to Republic Services. They'll handle it from there. For a quote or to discuss services, reach out to republicservices.com or give them a call at 859-263-2000. 263-2000.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Riley. Brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency, proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you by calling Mark or Chris for a free quote. 859-236-6686. Rain shower, thunderstorm chances possible. until about the middle of the afternoon. It's a foggy and drizzly day today. A high of 74, low tonight of 58. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 77. Friday, showers likely, mostly cloudy, and a high of 70. Right now, 7:23 in the morning. We are about 11 and a half hours away from a 12th Region Championship game played tonight between Boyle County and West Jessamine. And we welcome onto the show Boyle County baseball coach Adam Blair. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Oh, doing great. How you doing?
Doing good, Coach. Appreciate you being on here this morning, talking Rebel baseball. And tell you what, last night's game, another exciting one. The 12th Region Baseball Tournament as a whole has been phenomenal. I think it's been 6 games now, decided by a grand total of 11 runs between those 6 games. You all fell behind early in the game in the first inning, 1-0. As the first hitter of the game laced a single in the center for Somerset and then later scored to make it 1-0. And after that, Kyler Clonch locked down for you. And through a complete game, 1 run, 11 strikeout performance in the 12th Region semifinals. Coach, tell us about the game your sensational sophomore Kyler Clonch had for you on the mound yesterday.
Oh, he's been great all year, and it just showed right there how good he is. He loves that moment. He was worked his tail off, for these moments. That's why, you see it all year. He was 45th District Player of the Year, very close to being 12th Region Player of the Year, and he just competes. And he loves his team. He plays for his team. And he leaves his heart out there every single day, every single night. Just so proud of him. And just a sophomore, he's just so beyond his years. And it's awesome to have a front row seat and get to watch him play.
Yeah, and he was matching Griffin Loy pitch for pitch, and Loy was matching Clonch pitch for pitch, and it was through the entire game. It was a pitcher's duel, Coach, and you find yourself, Kyler's doing his thing on the mound, but you all are having trouble even getting a runner on. You finally get one on there in the 5th. You get him bunted over to third base. Caden Patterson hits a ground ball to third. Ends up being a double play, but Patterson drives the run in to tie the game up at 1. What are you telling your team as you all are locked in that duel? You know you've got the chance. Obviously, you just need a couple of swings of the bat to get back in it, but you're having trouble getting runners on base against Loy. What are you telling your team during that moment?
Yeah, once we tied it up, it's a new ball game. Of course, that gives us some comfort, and now it's just, let's try to scratch one. No matter if it's, getting a bunt down, getting hit by a pitch, getting walked, getting hit, getting the bunt over, just getting a guy on and trying to scratch one across, because we knew that, 1 run might win this game.
Yeah, and that's
and
what
so,
Go ahead. I was just going to say that's what it was. It was 1 run that won the game after you tied it up at 1. The bottom of the 6th, Kyler Clonch with a bloop single to center. He's still second. It was the 5th stolen base of the game for you all. Moves to third in the pass ball. There's 1 out after Austin Bodner pops out, and you have another sophomore at the plate, Logan Perry, who all year long has gotten big hits for you, Coach. And you all have got to get Kyler across home plate to give yourself the lead and just needing 3 outs on the other side to win the game. And you call the suicide squeeze. Tell us what was going through your mind during that play call. And I tell you what, Logan executed that bunt perfectly.
Yeah, we talked about it when, even when Bodner was up, we had no outs at that point. So, we didn't want to take a chance with the, possible, something happen, like a pop-up. Bunts are hard to get down, especially with a guy like Lloyd, throwing as hard as he does. And then we got the situation. Logan was up. I think he had a 1-1 count or 2-1 count. And, we had talked about it before. Me and Kyler kind of looked at each other and nodded at each other, and it was on. And we haven't called it all year. It's the first suicide squeeze. We've called some safety squeezes. That's the first suicide squeeze we've called all year.
Yeah.
And we just went with it. And it worked out. Logan, as sophomore, in a big spot right there, accepted the challenge, get down the most perfect bunt you could have. And Kyler was full go all the way to home plate, sliding in. And it's just an awesome thing to see, especially from my view at third base, to watch it all come together right there, the play, the slide, the crowd, our dugout just exploded, and I knew the momentum at that point was with us.
Yeah. You talk about two sophomores, one on third base and Kyler Clonch, and one at home plate, the lefty Logan Perry, who got the bunt down. So you say you and Kyler just kind of made eye contact, and you all just, he knew suicide squeeze is on. Obviously, you've got the signs and you called it, but you all just kind of knew what was going on at that point.
Yeah, we had talked about it prior, and then we kind of nodded at that time. And let's go for it, and let's take our chances. And ultimately, it's our decision. As coaches, we get to make the call, but, we like to let our players, talk to us. And, they have feel. They're playing the game. They got sometimes better feel than us about the situations. And, we want them comfortable with what we're going to do. And this is kind of how we play. It's a players' team, and we want them to be comfortable. And, I could tell they wanted to do it, and we got it done, and it worked out. And I've never been so happy for those two and the rest of the team in that situation. And then to come out and get the 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down for Kyler. And I think he finished the game with right at 99 pitches or so. And, he came off the mound with so much emotion. And just to see them, that's what we practice all year for. That's the long hour practices and the many hours is seeing those priceless moments that you can't make up, you can't buy. And we plan hopefully we want to make some more tonight. So we know it's going to be a battle. And we're excited about it. And we know both teams they're amped up and ready to go.
Yeah. You mentioned the emotion that Kyler Clonch had. We were leaving the baseball complex and was talking with Coach Schartzer and Coach Tiller as we were going back to the radio van and had a 5-10 minute conversation with them just about the game and what you expect tomorrow and all that. And Kyler was jogging out of the baseball complex, and Coach Schartzer looked at him, and Kyler looked over and said, "Hey, I just got to go for a jog and run around the complex real quick." He had, I think, so much energy, Coach. He had to jog it off after the game was over, and he went for a jog. We were pulling out, and he was running around the other side of the baseball field just trying to run off some of that energy. You do have West Chessman tonight. Lots of great storylines in this one. It's been an interesting year for West Chessman. Their coach stepped down towards the end of the season. Austin Kearns and Blake Perry are co-coaches. Blake is obviously the uncle of Logan Perry, who laid down the suicide squeeze for you yesterday to win the game, Coach. So this is kind of a fun, interesting, strange day for the Perry family and a fun day overall for Boyle County and West Chessman tonight.
Yeah, it is, and we're all excited at both sides, and we want to put a good show on. And obviously, we got one more, as we keep telling. Yesterday we won. We have one more. We got one more to hit that go to hit the state tournament, and we're going to give it everything we got tonight. And I'm excited.
Yeah, 6 o'clock tonight. Let me ask you this, Coach. Has there been a decision made about where the game is going to be played? Obviously it's still drizzly and misty.
It's going to be at Center.
It's going to be at Center College tonight, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so tonight, 6 o'clock, Center College with the location, Boyle County and West Chessman. So go ahead and mark that one down at Center College tonight. Coach, we appreciate you being on. Good luck. We'll see you tonight, and hopefully we're talking at some point tomorrow about a region championship win, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir, Coach.
Go Rebels.
That's Boyle County baseball coach Adam Blair has the Rebels at 27-8 this year. Tonight's game, you heard him at Center College. We'll have it on Z105 WRNZ FM. It's 7:32 in the morning. It is 58 degrees. The County Agents Corner is coming your way next with Tyler Miller from the Lincoln County Extension Office.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade, and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the second floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville Will County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just one day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Wisiger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Danville Bike and Footwear is kicking off summer with a store-wide blowout sale May 29th through 31st. Come in and register to win a brand new bike. Looking for great summer deals? They're featuring up to 30% off on all bikes, disc golf discs, and swimwear. Footwear is 20% off and save up to 75% off on all clearance items. Stop in for our 3-day summer blowout sale and register to win a brand new bike. No purchase necessary. Must be 18 years or older to register. Danville Bike and Footwear, where adventure and comfort ride together.
It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's Lee's Famous Recipes 3-piece special day. You get 3 pieces of famous or crispy chicken or famous strips, your choice of 2 sides, and a buttermilk biscuit, all just $8.26 tax included. A savings of almost $2. Catch the Danville special, a piece of their famous fish, chicken strip, a side of your choice, and buttermilk biscuit for one low price. Lee's caters at 859-236-8777. The best value every Wednesday is a 3-piece chicken dinner for only $8.26. Lee's Famous Recipe in Danville on South 4th.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Yeah, Ready Joe, brought to you by Dexter and WHIR Insurance. Your local independent insurance agency. Proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you. Calling Mark or Chris for a free quote. 859-236-6686 for Dexter in WHIR Insurance. All right, you get cloudy skies, rain showers, drizzly, nasty, misty. A high today 74, low tonight 58. Sunshine tomorrow, 77 is the high. Friday mostly cloudy and 70 is the high. 70% chance of rain there on Friday. Right now it's 7:38 in the morning. It's 58 degrees. It is a Wednesday, the 28th day of May, and it's time for the County Agent's Corner with Tyler Miller. Good morning, Tyler. How are you?
Hey, good to speak with you this morning. I'm doing good.
Good stuff, Tyler. Appreciate you being on here, giving us an update from the County Agent's Corner. Brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market.
Get the top price for your livestock. Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's needs. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
And here's Tyler Miller.
All right. Well, good day to each and every one of you guys out there listening. Today we're going to be talking about ticks. Seems like ticks are pretty thick this year. I've found a few on me, and it always makes you nervous when you pull a tick off, because the stuff they can carry, but they also affect our livestock. And in severe cases, they have even killed large animals. There's been so many ticks on them that it would, essentially pull them down and kill those animals. But it is a problem. Ticks carry and can pass on to a large animal something called anoplasmosis, and so that's something else that can cause loss of life to our animals, our livestock. And of course, there's the alpha-gal that many of us are affected by, and so I would never wish that upon anybody, and makes it for a really tough diet. But the UK Entomology, the Kentucky Beef Network, and some other industry partners are doing a tick study to where they come out to you. They want to target pastures, the grazing systems, and they drag like a flag or a cloth. They walk your pastures, and they essentially are trying to drag for these ticks. They're doing a tick drag, and so we are looking for participating farmers to volunteer a few pastures to go in to this study. And if you'd be interested in that, I encourage you to reach out to your county agent. They can help you get signed up. There's really not much any cost or anything like that involved for the producer. It's pretty easy on our end as a producer, but would encourage you to consider letting a few people come out and walk your pasture and collect some ticks. That's the hope. And that's your County Agent's Corner. God bless you.
There you go. Tyler Miller with this morning's Lincoln County Extension Office and the County Agent's Corner. All right, Tyler, before you go, some random facts you may not know, but I want you to know, so I'm going to let you know. Tyler, are you ready?
Yeah, man.
All right, Tyler, here we go. Fact number one. A recent study showed that taxi and ambulance drivers have a lower risk of dying from Alzheimer's disease compared to more than 400 other professions. And experts believe that could be because they're constantly using navigational and spatial processing. On-the-fly decisions may protect the driver's cognitive abilities, but it might not translate to Uber drivers because the older drivers in the study mostly worked before GPS systems were widely used. So like Uber drivers are probably more than likely relying on GPS systems, so they don't have to make on-the-fly decisions about where something is. They just follow the screen right to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe like older taxi and ambulance drivers, they're finding it using their own navigational skills.
Yeah, I see.
Number two, the country of Liechtenstein has won 10 Olympic medals, all of them in alpine skiing.
Wow.
So that's the place to go for the alpine skier in your family. Liechtenstein. Number three, an old wives' tale says a pregnant woman with heartburn is more likely to have a hairy baby. A study in 2006 was set out to disprove that fact, but actually proved it more true. Heartburn and hairy babies are both linked to a woman's estrogen levels. So the more heartburn a pregnant woman has, the more likely it is the baby will indeed be hairy.
That's what I've always heard.
I've heard that too. Number four, there are only 2 documented cases in human history of a coyote killing a human. Only 2 of them. And number 5, Tyler, the day that Michael Jackson caught fire when he was filming a Pepsi commercial was literally the halfway point of his life. It happened 9,282 days after he was born, and he died 9,281 days after it happened.
Oh, my goodness.
Some random facts for you this morning, Tyler. Little Michael Jackson leading us to this commercial break. Tyler, we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning, okay?
All right.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
Danville's deal maker, Bob Allen.
New Rams cost less at Bob Allen Motor Mall. During the Employee Pricing Plus event, lease the all-new 25 Ram 2500 for only $489 per month for 60 months. $55.40 plus first payment, taxes, and fees due at signing. 10,000 lease miles per year. Stock C25207. Bob Allen, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com.
Struggling with mortgage debt from COVID? Team Kentucky can help. If you restructured your home loan and deferred payments to the end of your mortgage, you may qualify for up to $60,000 in assistance to pay off that debt. Help is also available for other COVID-related hardships if you meet income guidelines. Apply today at www.protectmykyhome.org. This ad is sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation, the Kentucky Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Yesterday, Boyle County advanced to the 12th Region Baseball Finals with a 2-1 win over Somerset. The Rebels scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th on a suicide squeeze. Boyle will face West Jessamine, which blanked Pulaski County 1-0. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock this evening for Boyle County hosting West Jessamine on Z105. The 12th Region Fast Pitch Softball semifinals were postponed yesterday and will be played Thursday at Southwestern. At 8 o'clock, Boyle County plays host Southwestern on Z105. West Jessamine meets Pulaski County at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Congratulations to Boyle County Middle School, which was one of the Final Four schools in Kentucky's middle school baseball playoffs held this past Saturday at Lindsey Wilson College in Columbia. Boyle lost to eventual champion South Warren 2-1 in extra innings. The Eagles had 2 hits, South only 1. BC tied it up in the 6th, then had the potential lead run thrown out at the plate in extra innings. South Warren blanked Anderson County in the championship game 10-0. Anderson had eliminated Corbin 10-5. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals last night, Indiana defeated New York 130-121. The Pacers lead the Knicks 3-1. In the NHL West Finals, Edmonton downed Dallas 4-1 for their 3rd consecutive win. The Women's College World Series begins tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Florida plays Texas. Oklahoma meets Tennessee. Texas Tech faces Ole Miss. And UCLA takes on Oregon. In Major League Baseball yesterday, it was the Reds 7, Royals 2, Dodgers 9, Guardians 5, Phillies 2, Braves nothing, Cardinals 7, Orioles 4, and Cubs 4, Rockies 3 in 11 innings. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Dear Mom, I know it's hard trying to quit smoking, but I heard something new about something that might help. It's called Kentucky's Tobacco Quit Line. It's one-on-one individual counseling over the phone with someone who can help. You can talk in private and talk at times when it's convenient. Just call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Mom, one of these days I'll be graduating and then maybe someday getting married. I want you to be there with me. Please try it. I love you, Rachel.
The Kentucky Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW. This message brought to you by your local health department.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Yeah, brought to you by Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open in Danville. Patchy fog, otherwise mostly cloudy, high of 74, low tonight 58. Sunshine tomorrow, 77's the high. Friday, mostly cloudy, 70 is the high. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Right now, it's 7:48 in the morning. It is 58 degrees in Danville. So glad to have you on the show at 859-238-WHIR, 238-9447. As we head out west to see what's going on in Hollywood. The Showbiz segment, Celebrity News. Those people so rich and famous, they're disassociated with reality. It is our world of weird. Here we go. All right, The Handmaid's Tale is in the can after 6 seasons, but there's a sequel series called The Testaments in the works, and we might actually see Elizabeth Moss on it. She says, quote, June's story isn't over, and obviously I don't know, and even if I did know, I couldn't say what happens next, but I love that I don't necessarily have to say goodbye to that world and that character. I love that. She adds, quote, although I don't know yet if or when June's coming back, I love that she's not done. I love playing that character so much, and she's probably my favorite I've ever played at this point. And so, of course, I don't want that to end. The Handmaid's Tale. We'll see. Hey, guitarist Rick Derringer died Monday at the age of 77, and to say this guy did just about everything in his career would be an understatement. As a member of the McCoys, Derringer had a #1 hit in 1965 with Hang On, Sloopy. Then in 1973, he had a solo hit with Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Over the years, he did session work for Steely Dan, Kiss, Barbra Streisand, to name a few. He also produced for Cyndi Lauper and played the solo on Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart. Rick won a Grammy for producing Weird Al Yankovic's debut album called Eat It and played the guitar solo on that title track. He went on to produce 6 of Weird Al's albums. In 1985, he produced the wrestling album for WWE, which was WWF at the time. He also wrote and performed the Real American track, which Hulk Hogan uses as his theme song to this day. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, saying that someone's music saved you is kind of cliche. But one family can literally say that Metallica saved them. Kristen McKee, her husband, and their 14-year-old daughter, Madeline, were scheduled to attend a Metallica show in Blacksburg, Virginia on May the 7th. The night before, Kristen and her husband decided to turn in early so they could get plenty of rest before the show. Normally, they'd be up several more hours watching TV, but since they were in bed, they avoided a truck that crashed through their house and directly into their living room. Kristen says, every day I thank God and Metallica for saving us because that's exactly what did it. They didn't make the show, obviously, because a truck ran through their home, but Madeline wrote the band a letter thanking them for saving her parents. Metallica saved a family from a grisly death because they went to bed early to get to the concert the next day. Possibly the only connection between Steely Dan, Weird Al, and Hulk Hogan has died. And Elizabeth Moss isn't closing the door on her Handmaid's Tale character just yet. That's what's going on out west in Hollywood. The Showbiz segment, Celebrity News. All right, it's 7:52 in the morning, and we are going to the stage here in Danville at the Pioneer Playhouse, where Heather Henson joins us in studio. Good morning, Heather. How are you?
Good morning. I'm pretty good. I'm a little damp.
Yeah, it's like again, I said it last night during the baseball broadcast that we're doing the Boyle County Somerset game, but it felt like a fall evening last night. It was just dreary and misty, and kind of the same thing this morning, cloudy and foggy and misty and damp.
Yucky.
But we're going to get this weather out of the way so we can have great weather for the Pioneer Playhouse.
I know.
The
it's
countdown
better.
is on.
Can you do that? Can you bring us good weather next week?
I can do the best I
can.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
I'll do the best I can.
Because we open June 6th, and we need it to be perfect weather.
So today's the 28th, so how many days away is June the 6th?
Like 9 days, a week and a couple of days, right?
That's kind of crazy to wrap my head around. 9 days or so away from Pioneer Playhouse.
It's really crazy. The actors are, every morning, 9 to 12, 1 to 3, 7 to 9, they are rehearsing to get the first show on the boards, as we say. They're gonna be ready.
I wonder so they're rehearsing 3 times a day. Do you think by the time that they get to the show, it's almost like equating it to like a football team hitting each other over and over in practice. They just want to hit somebody else. Like they're just ready to do it by the time the show rolls around.
They do, yeah. They want the laughter, because it is true though. You're rehearsing, and it's like, okay, you think this line you said is going to be funny.
Yeah, that's
but
a good point.
We don't know. We hope there's laughter. So, I mean, an audience, a lot of times people don't get this, and Robbie and I will go on stage and say, hey, laugh tonight, give laughter, because the actors really, they appreciate it and they understand, and it gets their timing better if the audience is laughing at a joke that they made. And I guess if they don't laugh, then they know they need to try harder the next night.
Or maybe not pause after that line because that didn't invoke any laughter.
Exactly.
Yeah, the first play coming up is June the 6th through June the 28th. The Game's Afoot. Tell us about this one, Heather.
I like to say that it's Clue meets Sherlock Holmes because it is the Sherlock Holmes persona and characters, but it is Clue. It's very much, a actor has invited his friends for the holidays, and someone ends up dead. And so the actor has to take on the persona of Sherlock Holmes and figure out what happened. And it's just a lot of fun. It's our typical kind of play where people are running around. You don't know who the murderer is. Actually, this one keeps you guessing really until the very end. So there's going to be a few twists. So you need to come for that.
The Game's Afoot. Now, chronologically speaking, that's June 6th to the 28th. In the middle of that, on June the 14th, that's a Saturday evening, you will have your 76th birthday anniversary party.
Yes, we had such fun having the 75th last year that we decided to do it again. And so it's June 14th, a Saturday. There is no show that night, just a party. It's 7 to 11.
Okay.
It's food, drink, dancing, live music by Kelly Caldwell and Kashmir, who are just a fantastic band. We had them with the Elvis show last year. I couldn't stop dancing, and it's going to be the same that night. I love to dance. I will be on that dance floor. It's $75, includes dinner and one bar drink, plus live music by this great band. And the stars of the show will be there, the new cast. We have a lot of new cast members. You'll get to meet them, so it'll be a lot of fun. And it's a fundraiser as well. It's really only our fundraiser of the season. $75 gets you all of that stuff, but it also helps us continue.
Yeah, so that'll be on June the 14th, and you can get tickets to that right now, the 76th anniversary bash at Pioneer Playhouse.
Yeah.
3 plays this year, as it's been the last couple of years. So play 1, The Game's Afoot. Play 2 is July 1st through July 19th, and it's called Walking Across Egypt.
It is adapted by Catherine Bush, who still has family in Danville. She lived in Danville for many years.
Okay.
It's a terrific show. We did it 12 years ago. It's a heartfelt Southern comedy, really feel-good show of the summer. I think church groups are going to love this one. Families, please come out and see it. It's a terrific show.
Walking Across Egypt. And then play 3, July 22nd through August the 9th. You will end the 2025 show season, the 76th year, with a play called Not From Around Here, an original play by local authors.
Yeah, Jennifer Goff is the head of the theater department at Center College, and her husband, Brian Scruggs. They have written this fun, 80s-inspired, kind of sitcom-y play about neighbors who are kind of keeping secrets. They're not all that they appear to be, and they're not from around here. They might be out of this world.
Yeah, so
if
this,
you know what I mean.
We talked about this play last week when you were on. Just the interesting idea behind this play. Neighbors who seemingly know everything about each other and are best friends until one of the neighbors reveals a secret that the other set of neighbors do not know.
Did not know.
Good. 3 good, really family-friendly plays this year, Heather. You'll always keep it family-friendly as it is, but this is a show season that's good for the entire family.
It really is. And we say PG for the first show, Sherlock Holmes, just because there's murder. You're talking about murder and someone getting murdered, but it's still a lot of fun. It's a lot like Clue. And then we end with Elvis Presley because, people love their Elvis here in Danville, Kentucky,
Elvis Presley and the Rockabilly Queen, Wanda Jackson, going to be on stage August 14th, 15th, and 16th.
2 Elvises, 1 Wanda, and a full live band. Again, Kelly Caldwell and Kashmir. She's our Wanda, and she's the band, backing band, and she is fantastic.
Now, we kind of ran out of time last week. I want to touch on the barbecue dinner. Is it barbecue
yes,
again
barbecue.
this year?
Yeah,
Okay, tell us about the dinner.
Pulled pork or pulled chicken. It's home cooked. It's right there. Parmesan roasted potatoes, coleslaw, fresh vegetable of the day, and homemade dessert. It's a terrific meal. So just come and eat the meal, and then you can get full and waddle on down to your seats.
Yes, yeah. And
it's not far to go.
You've got the great snacks as well. You serve ice cream and
we
popcorn
serve
and
ice
things like
cream.
that.
If you get there early, there's an ice cream parlor. We have an antique village that has been featured on American Pickers. We have an exhibit of 75 years under the stars, all of the photographs from 1949 till today. So there's a lot to do there. Please come out and check us out. And you can call 859-236-2747 or go online, pioneerplayhouse.com.
It's Friday, June the 6th is opening night, and nightly Tuesday through Saturday, beginning June the 6th on that Friday, and it'll be Tuesday through Saturday after that. 7 o'clock dinner, 8:30 showtime, RSVP for dinner at 3 o'clock in the afternoon each day if you want to eat the dinner. But Heather, how can we get tickets to this season's show?
You need to call 859-236-2747 or go online to pioneerplayhouse.com. Or you guys are having big deals. You can go on your website.
Yes, got our big deals up and operable, hometownlive.net. If you order from our big deal store, make sure you do call Pioneer Playhouse and let them know, hey, you got a couple of tickets from Big Deals and you want to RSVP a couple of seats for whatever night show that you want to see that night. So we're excited about it.
Yay.
Year number 76 under the stars at Pioneer Playhouse. And we talk with Heather Henson every Wednesday morning at around 7:50 right here on WHIR.
Yay. Thanks, Joe.
Good stuff, Heather. Appreciate you. That's Heather Henson from Pioneer Playhouse. Again, June the 6th is the first show called The Game's Afoot. And you can see that Friday, June 6th, nightly Tuesdays through Saturdays at the Pioneer Playhouse in Danville on Stanford Road, 840 Stanford Road. It's 7:59 in the morning. We are just seconds away from top hour news at 8 o'clock in the morning. State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe joins us this morning. If she's back from her Israel trip at 8:10, I think she's back. I guess we'll find out together. Coming up next.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 8 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Elon Musk is expressing disappointment in President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. That's his budget bill. The world's richest man said in a preview of an interview set to air this weekend on CBS Sunday Morning, is disappointed to see the massive spending bill because he feels it undermines the work that his Doge team is doing. Tesla sales are plummeting in Europe, and analysts say it's partly because of CEO Elon Musk's rhetoric and political activities. More from Tammy Trujillo.
Sales across the continent fell nearly 50% in April compared with last year. That's while overall electric vehicle sales were up more than 30%. Musk drew the ire of some when he endorsed a far-right German political party earlier this year. Protests also broke out at Tesla dealerships as Musk was spending over $300 million to help get President Trump reelected. The company is also facing stiff competition from other automakers, including Chinese manufacturers. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The Trump administration is putting student visa interviews on hold. As Nick Harper reports, the move is coming as the Trump administration considers requiring foreign students to undergo social media screening.
The directive, seen by several news outlets and signed by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, said that effective immediately, no new interviews should be scheduled.
It's not known what social media screening would entail. Week 3 of the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial in Lower Manhattan is kicking off with startling testimony from a former employee. More from Kristen Marks.
Capricorn Clark was on the stand all day Tuesday describing how Diddy wanted to kill people. That included multiple threats on her own life as early as her first day on the job. Clark also testified that Diddy wanted to kill Kid Cudi when he found out he was dating his ex, Cassie Ventura. Clark said she was kidnapped at gunpoint by Diddy to break into Kid Cudi's home before he chased the rapper in his car.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
That sound is every driver's worst fear. How much will the repairs cost? Is it your engine, your transmission, or worse? A car breakdown could cost you thousands to repair, but not if you have CarShield. CarShield administrators pay your claims directly to the mechanic or dealer of your choice, saving you time and money. Call CarShield today before your next breakdown. Call 800-954-1023. That's 800-954-1023.
Do you
have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call us for free information at 1-800-577-2648. That's 1-800-577-2648.
The Supreme Court is rejecting a last-minute plea by Native Americans to block a copper mining project in Arizona. More from Matt Mattinson.
The decision was handed down Tuesday in regards to the project in Oak Flat located in the Tonto National Forest. The nonprofit organization Apache Stronghold made the challenge, saying that the land is sacred and is used to perform tribal ceremonies. Recently, the Trump administration announced its support for the mining project. Justices Neil Gorsuch and Clarence Thomas dissented in the decision, with Gorsuch calling it a grave mistake not to have a closer look. In Phoenix, I'm Matt Mattinson.
A former Los Angeles Times reporter is suing ex-LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva. Mark Mayfield with a story.
Maya Lau's federal lawsuit also names a former undersheriff and a former detective. She says a criminal investigation into her activities as a journalist violated her First Amendment rights. The situation stems from Lau reporting about a leaked list of deputies with a history of misconduct. Lau is seeking compensation for what she calls damages to her dignity and privacy. The lawsuit claims her rights were violated by the Sheriff's Department 6 different times. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The Knicks are on the brink of elimination after losing Game 4 to the Pacers. More from Natalie Migliore.
New York fell to Indiana 130-121, putting the Pacers one game away from winning the Eastern Conference Finals and making the NBA Finals. Knicks guard Jalen Brunson says they can cut down on turnovers, adding not getting stops was a big issue.
Offensively, the ball was going in, but didn't get enough stops. They came with energy and physicality and set the tone for the game.
Brunson netted 31 points for New York, which hopes to stave off elimination in Game 5 at Madison Square Garden on Thursday.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know. Generations of serving our community, immunizations, prescriptions, and so much more. Helpful people, free local delivery, mobile app refills right to your door. Visit SuttonRx.com. Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on Maple Avenue. I'm Adam Hopkins, Security Officer at Farmers National Bank. If you receive a call from what looks to be your bank and are asked for your account number or online banking password, don't give it to them. This is a scam. Your bank already has this information. Call your bank to verify requests.
Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 28th day of May at 8:05 in the morning, and 58 degrees right now in Danville. It's a misty, drizzly morning for us. State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe is coming up next.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade, and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the 2nd floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just one day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Wisiger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Catch the best of Sean Hannity, Saturday mornings 10 to 1 on WHIR.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, Rayleigh. Gotta get used to saying Rayleigh. She's the new weather forecast voice here. Thank you there, Rayleigh. Brought to you by our friends over at the Little Sign Shop. Need a sign, a banner, or decal fast? The owners and operators of the Little Sign Shop have got you covered. They do full-color digital printing, magnetic signs, auto signage, and logo design in Danville, where 2nd and 4th Streets meet. All right, mostly cloudy, foggy, misty today. A high of 75, a low tonight 58. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 77. Friday, mostly cloudy and 70 is your high. Right now, it's 8:11 in the morning. It is the 28th day of May, and we are so glad to have State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe on the show this morning. Good morning, Senator Bledsoe. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Yeah, appreciate you being on. You are back in the States after a trip to, I believe it was Israel, right? Tell us how that went for you.
It was amazing. I was there 31 years ago. This, of course, was a very different time to be there. They're currently in a state of war, so being there, watching many citizens live a dual life, acting as reservists, fighting in the Gaza, holding down the north side, and then also living life normally. They're a year and a half into this post-October 7th kind of endeavor, and beautiful country, beautiful people, really hard, tough situation, and was very, very glad to get home. Very glad to get home.
Yeah. What was the reason for the trip?
In many ways, people have talked about how is Israel a partner of the United States, and we obviously share a number of values with them. That's the easiest thing. We share democracy. We build goals for life. But the strategic interest of Israel for just long-term geopolitical strategy for America is massive. They're one of the top, outside the Silicon Valley, Israel is the number one country, place where you're seeing AI, innovation, high-tech, come out, and they're doing some amazing stuff that they're sharing with the United States. It's obviously a much safer place than, let's say, China, to be doing a lot of that innovation. So there's strategic interest on the economic side, and of course, from a security standpoint, when things like Egypt or Iran invade Syria or have upset in those countries, so Israel is the number one place where we could have some massive security breaches that would hit America. So it was a really important conversation to be there. I was invited by those, of course, who are hoping that one day I may run for a federal office and be involved in national politics. That's not today, so it was the first step in kind of that conversation, but certainly a valuable insight for sure.
With State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe back in the States now, Senator, and tell us what you've been working on here recently and what's going on there at the state capitol in Frankfort.
Well, as you probably know, we've been moved out of the state capitol in our chambers, so those are all clear now as they begin to do some renovation. And we're in the annex full time, which is an interesting thing to run over to the capitol and not go to the other side, to stay on our side, which is certainly a bizarre thing, but certainly needed. My heart goes out to Jeff Jewell. He was someone who I certainly enjoyed working with in Boyle County. He's one of the first people that I had time to spend with him. His passion for making Danville and Boyle County thrive was evident. His joy. Certainly sorry to hear of his passing. And then I'll just mention that I'll be in Danville later today. I have two, believe it or not, I have two airport groundbreakings today. One in Lexington at the Bluegrass Airport. We're celebrating some state appropriation that I was fortunate to be a part of to help expand the Lexington Airport, certainly on the parking side. If you've been there lately, they're expanding again and adding more flights, which is great. But for every flight they add, they have to have some place for all those people to park. So doing some green bucket on that. And then I'll be in Danville for the airport as well, as they've had some good reconstruction after tornadoes that Daniel Elliott and I were able to be a part of.
So are you going to fly from Bluegrass Airport to the Junction City Airport?
I wish. I will be flying on the car, so I am really hoping that I have some grace. It just so happened that both of those, one got moved and they're back-to-back. So if I come flying in, literally on two wheels, you will know that I came from Lexington Airport.
Yes, yeah.
But I wouldn't miss it. I want to be there for both.
I've seen a couple of reports, Senator Bledsoe, of potential tax hikes for school districts. Boyle County School District is considering that. Fayette County Public Schools apparently considering a tax hike as well. And I think the Fayette County Public School Board made a decision on that last night in a 3-2 vote. And I'm trying to sort through this article of what they voted on. Do you know what the vote was yesterday at Fayette County?
They voted to increase the occupational tax. Okay. And this will now go, and this is a statute that hasn't been used in like 40 years. They've relied on property tax exclusively. But this will now go to fiscal court. And I would say most of the calls I've got is, does Fayette County have a fiscal court? And I was like, we do. It, of course, is not used very often, but it is elected. The city council, the merged government, they have pretty much exclusive power on what happens in Fayette County as a merge. But we do have a fiscal court and a judge exec that are elected for times like these. And so most people are like, well, who are they? And did I vote for them? And I'm like, you probably did. Somebody did. We have a fiscal court. And they'll make the next decision on doing this. And so it has been a really, very frustrating from a transparency standpoint. People found out about this over the weekend. The meeting was last night, the Tuesday after Memorial Day. Most people are at the lake, at services, doing things with their family. To feel like we're raising taxes in a way that certainly looks like it is not being very authentic. I think Boyle County, last time was a hearing and a conversation. I don't think they acted quite yet. But that, school funding is something that I was actually talking to a friend in Boyle County yesterday about this, and I said, I really wish Senator McDaniel and I have been talking for a while. How do we better fund our public school system, both from a student and from a construction side, because it's not working very well. We know that, and it has been done on precedent for so long that it does need. I would love to. One of the benefits of the Supreme Court of Kentucky saying, hey, you know what, we don't like the way you're doing it. Fine, let's start scratch. Let's start over with a different way that might be the best thing we could do, honestly, as a state moving forward. But that's not something we have yet. So it's very frustrating, and I would encourage those who care to get involved and pay attention to the way in which the money is being spent and allocated.
With State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe, who joins us Wednesday mornings at 8:10. Senator Bledsoe, you're going to have to remind me the counties that you represent. Do you represent Jessamine County?
I do not. I have Boyle, Mercer, Woodford, and South Fayette. Okay,
so tonight, Boyle County versus West Jessamine in the state the Region Baseball Championship winner goes to state, Senator Bledsoe. You can fully say then go Rebels in this matchup.
Oh, go Rebels. I'm all in. I think it's super exciting, and I hope they make a run.
There you go. Yeah, it'll be tonight, 6 o'clock. We'll have the game. It'll be at Center College on Z105. State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe. Senator, people have any questions for you, how can they get in touch with you?
Good. Our email is still working, amanda.maysbledsoe@kylegislature.gov.
There you go. Senator Bledsoe, appreciate you being on and the great work that you do and keeping us informed, and we'll talk to you again a week from today, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks.
Bye. That's State Senator Amanda Mays Bledsoe giving us an update Wednesday mornings at 8:10. And what she said about Boyle County schools is correct. A public hearing was had yesterday in what would, the proposal here would raise the tax on real property and personal property from 65.3 cents, which is what it was last year, to 71 cents is the proposal for 2025. And a public hearing there was held yesterday at the Boyle County Middle School Library. 859-238-9447. Let's see what's going on in this morning's sort of Sports Report, those headlines that you may not hear every morning on your typical sports reports. And here we go, starting off in soccer news, where an unidentified man had been arrested in connection with a car that plowed into a crowd in Liverpool, England at the end of the Premier League victory parade on Sunday. More than 50 people injured when the car sped into the crowd. 53-year-old man believed to be behind the wheel. The suspect was arrested and accused of attempted murder, dangerous driving offenses, and driving while under the influence of drugs. Police have also stated that the incident is not being treated as a terrorist incident. 80s-era Olympic darling Mary Lou Retton has been hit with a misdemeanor charge of DUI. On Saturday, May 17th, police say Retton was pulled over after a report of a person in a Porsche driving erratically. According to the complaint, Retton smelled of alcohol and was slurring her words during the traffic stop and also failed a field sobriety test. In addition, officers on the scene report seeing a container of wine in the passenger seat. Retton was instrumental in bringing women's gymnastics mainstream in the U.S. in the 1984 Olympics, where she won 2 silver and bronze medals and was the first female American to win the all-around in the 1984 Olympics. The NBA and NHL Conference Finals continue tonight. In the NHL at 8 o'clock, the Florida Panthers are at the Carolina Hurricanes. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Panthers lead that series 3-1. In the Western Conference Finals, the Minnesota Timberwolves are at the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder lead that series 3-1. That's an 8:30 tip-off. Last night in the NBA, the Pacers beat the Knicks 130-121 to take a 3-1 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here's how it sounded when the Pacers beat the Knicks behind a Tyrese Halliburton historic triple-double.
Shamit, long shot. That's it. The Indiana Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals. It'll be a closeout game Thursday at the Garden.
And meanwhile, in high school baseball, we talked about it with Senator Bledsoe, but the Boyle Baseball Rebels are taking on West Jessamine tonight. 6 o'clock first pitch from Center College tonight. We'll have that game on Z105, WRNZ FM with a 6 o'clock first pitch. Again, confirmed we'll be back at Center College. The Boyle County Lady Rebels will play tomorrow night, late night, 8 o'clock at Southwestern. Taking on Southwestern, the region semis down there in Pulaski County. That's what's going on in the sort of Sports Report. We have more sports coming your way next with the Big Daddy, Steve Bertram. Take it away, Stevie.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Yesterday, Boyle County advanced to the 12th Region Baseball Finals with a 2-1 win over Somerset. The Rebels scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th on a suicide squeeze. Boyle will face West Jessamine, which blanked Pulaski County 1-0. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock this evening for Boyle County hosting West Jessamine on Z105. The 12th Region Fast Pitch Softball semifinals were postponed yesterday and will be played Thursday at Southwestern. At 8 o'clock, Boyle County plays host Southwestern on Z105. West Jessamine meets Pulaski County at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Congratulations to Boyle County Middle School, which was one of the final 4 schools in Kentucky's middle school baseball playoffs held this past Saturday at Lindsey Wilson College in Columbia. Boyle lost to eventual champion South Warren 2-1 in extra innings. The Eagles had 2 hits, South only 1. BC tied it up in the 6th, then had the potential lead run thrown out at the plate in extra innings. South Warren blanked Anderson County in the championship game 10-0. Anderson had eliminated Corbin 10-5. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals last night, Indiana defeated New York 130-121. The Pacers lead the Knicks 3-1. In the NHL West Finals, Edmonton downed Dallas 4-1 for their 3rd consecutive win. The Women's College World Series begins tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Florida plays Texas. Oklahoma meets Tennessee. Texas Tech faces Ole Miss. And UCLA takes on Oregon. In Major League Baseball yesterday, it was the Reds 7, Royals 2, Dodgers 9, Guardians 5, Phillies 2, Braves nothing, Cardinals 7, Orioles 4, and Cubs 4, Rockies 3 in 11 innings. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
In Kentucky, we know the unexpected can strike at any moment, whether it's a tornado, flood, or severe storm. Being prepared could save lives. That's why it's vital to have an emergency plan. Know where your local shelter is. Keep an emergency kit with essentials like water, food, and medicine, and make sure your family has a communication plan in place. Boyle County, we're stronger when we are prepared. For more information on how to get ready, visit Boyle County Health Department's Division of Emergency Preparedness online at boylehealth.com. Stay safe, stay ready. This message was brought to you by your friends at the Boyle County Health Department.
Planning a wedding? Paying for a wedding? Attending a wedding? Hi, this is Pam Fitzgerald Clark with Wedding Planning with Pam, inviting you to join us Monday through Friday after the 8:30 morning news on WHIR AM 1230. I'll give you sound wedding planning advice and money-saving tips, information you need, and you'll get it all right here at your favorite radio station, WHIR AM 1230.
What makes Whitaker Bank uniquely Kentucky? With a wide range of products and services, we are here to provide you friendly, expert service for all of your banking needs. This is Rita McIntyre for Boyle, Garrett, and Mercer counties. As part of your community, we are committed to building solid, long-term relationships. Call me at 859-733-4963. Let us show you what uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Bad decisions limit future options. Stop adversity from becoming stress. Listen to The Flatline with host Rick Hughes, Sunday mornings at 7:30 on WHIR. Learn problem-solving devices built on God's Word. For inspiration, education, all without manipulation. The Flatline Sunday mornings at 7:30 on WHIR and online at hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Radio Joe, brought to you by our friends over at Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center is now open right here in Danville. Rain showers and thunderstorms are even possible as well on a drizzly Wednesday. A high today of 75, a low tonight 58. Partly sunny, 77 tomorrow. Friday, mostly cloudy, and 70 is the high. It's 8:26 in the morning, 58 degrees here in Danville, 859-238. WHIR is the number to call in here this morning, 238-9447. So glad to have you on the Joe Show. Let's see what Pimmy has up her sleeve today with I'm sorry, not wedding planning with Pim. I'm 10 minutes early on that. We're not going to see what Pimmy has up her sleeve yet, but we are going to see what's gone on this date in history that's made this date a date to remember. Starting off on this date, May the 28th of 1987, where to the embarrassment of Soviet officials, young Western German pilot Matthias Rust landed a private plane in Moscow's Red Square without authorization.
Matthias Rust from West Germany was only 19 years old when he landed his light plane in Red Square, Moscow, and flew straight into the history book.
It was on this day, 2016. Harambe, a gorilla from the Cincinnati Zoo, was shot after dragging a 3-year-old boy who had slipped into his enclosure. Here's a clip of an expert talking about the way Harambe was acting.
The gorilla's behavior was textbook protective behavior for a gorilla. They run around with their kids like that in the wild. The kids know to jump on the back. Any gorilla expert should know that gorilla was not acting violently towards that child.
Oh, wow. And story number 3 that happened in this state in history in 2018. Coca-Cola launched its first alcoholic drink, a drink called Lemon Dough, on an island in Japan, the island of Kyushu, Japan. Here's a clip of a Japanese commercial for Lemon Dough.
Lemon Dough.
There you go. The first alcoholic Coca-Cola drink was launched on this date in 2018, and that's what's gone on this date in history that's made this date a date to remember.
Many employers allow their workers to dress more casually during the hotter summer months, but use common sense around this relaxed policy. For instance, men wearing nothing but Speedos and women in nothing but a thong can sometimes cause a distraction in business meetings. Wearing only a bath towel may be okay for your cubicle, but you'll need a smart pair of flip-flops for venturing into public areas. And if you're going to participate in Buck Naked Wednesdays, be extra careful around the coffee machine. Follow these tips and you'll enjoy a casual and comfortable summer.
There you go. 8:29. We're a minute away from our K&N Bottom Hour News. Coming up in the next half hour, we see what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food, at 8:40. This date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history is coming up at 8:50 this morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Hospice is on here at 9:10. 9:35 this morning, we have Heather Clary from the Better Business Bureau on The Joe Show.
At Monticello Bank, helping your business thrive is our business. We offer a variety of products designed to make banking easier. Whether your company is large or small, you can count on us to provide accounts, loans, and other services built around the way you do business, including e-deposit, our remote deposit capture system, and merchant processing. Speak with one of our representatives and let us help you solve your business financial needs today. Monticello Bank, where people matter. Member FDIC, equal housing lender on the Danville Bypass.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
It's 8:30 in the morning. K&N News is coming up here for you. Next, we'll have that at bottom hour. And then again, Grub Gab at 8:40. Wedding Planning with Pim will be on here as well, coming up in about 5 minutes. Here's our K&N Newscast.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A plea deal is being reached nearly 10 years after the murder of a Lincoln County woman. In September of 2016, the body of 22-year-old Desiree Sparks was found in a remote area just weeks after she had been reported as missing. Several years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with her murder. Stamper has agreed to an Alford plea and is scheduled to be sentenced on Friday. Bullitt County fire crews are coming to the aid of their brethren in Laurel County. John Shannon has more.
10 days after the destruction was left behind, first responders in Bullitt County answered the call to help. WLKY reports that 13 firefighters from Shepherdsville, Zoneton, and Mount Washington were dispatched to the area on Monday. The team's primary role is to relieve firefighters who live in the disaster area. According to Zoneton Fire Chief Kevin Moulton, the 13 firefighters will spend 63 hours a day in Laurel County as a way to give back to the fire department that has worked tirelessly over the past week and a half. The firefighters will make the trip back to Bullitt County on Thursday. I'm John Shannon.
An investigation is underway after a vehicle pulled from a Kenton County river was found to have a body inside it. Officials say that on Monday, a truck was pulled from the Licking River in Morning View. There has been no word on what caused the truck to go into the water or the identity of the man found inside the vehicle. A family in Kentucky is cleaning up after a bear fell through their kitchen ceiling. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife says it was determined that the black bear had climbed up a ladder, got into an opening in the home's attic, and then crashed through the ceiling, landing on the kitchen stove. Arriving officers were able to get the bear out of the home by getting it to run through an open door. No injuries were reported in the incident. I'm Joe Lincoln.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Folks, the Memorial Day sale is going on now through the end of May at Mattresses and More, located in Southland Plaza right next to Ace Hardware. Right now, you save up to 30% off on all new merchandise arriving weekly. That includes mattresses, bedroom suits, living room suits, recliners, and so much more. Again, this Memorial Day sale through the end of May, come in and get it now and save up to 30% off. Also, get 12 months same as cash with your good credit at Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza, Houstonville Road, Danville.
Hi, JB here. Join me this Thursday as I broadcast live on Z105 from Danville Bike and Footwear. Your chance to win a bike valued at over $600, plus amusement park tickets. There's great door prizes throughout the day, plus free burgers, hot dogs, and Pepsi products. See you Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. from Danville Bike and Footwear on Z105.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade, and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the 2nd floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville Will County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just one day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Whizziger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Gold prices are climbing, and that means now is the perfect time to turn your unwanted gold into cold hard cash. At B&L Jewelers, we're buying gold every day, whether it's broken chains, single earrings, outdated styles, or old class rings. If it's real gold, we want to see it. Our experienced team will evaluate your items right on the spot and make you a no-pressure offer. You might be surprised at how much your forgotten jewelry is worth. Why let it sit in the drawer when you could be putting money back into your pocket? No appointment needed. Trusted by the community for years. Located in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. B&L Jewelers, where honesty, value, and experience shine. Come see what your gold is really worth today.
Love gets better with B&L Jewelers. Give a gift with that personal touch to that person in your life that means so much. It's the perfect way to say, hey baby, I love you, and I need you to love me more. And the perfect diamond to get you to do it's at the B&L Jewelers store. Love gets better with B&L Jewelers.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Hey there, Raylene, brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Dillahay. Get a free estimate, and they work with their insurance company. Fixing water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and paintless dent repair at Danville Auto Body Shop. All right, you get cloudy skies, drizzly, rainy, misty, 74 and 58's the high and low. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 77. Rain showers Thursday night into Friday, where you get mostly cloudy skies and 70 is the high. It's 8:38 in the morning right now. It's 58 degrees. Wednesday, the 28th day of May. Pimmy, what's going on with you this morning? Wedding Planning with Pim.
Hi, I'm Pim Stewart-Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. Some couples love to say vows steeped in tradition and historical customs. Others can't imagine saying words that someone else put in their mouth for such a personal, meaningful part of their lives. You can choose to use the traditional ceremony, vows, and readings, taking satisfaction in those traditions, or you can personalize readings, hymns, or musical selections. Just make sure you've discussed any personalization with your officiant well beforehand, so there's no misunderstanding as to what you can change and what you can't. There are some creative ideas you can incorporate into your procession that can make it more personal. Instead of having your back to your guests, trade places with your officiant and face your guests. At a small, intimate ceremony, have the guests join you at the altar or have them join hands encircling you. Consider including both sets of parents in the processional, or have your groom meet you halfway down the aisle. Have an acceptance ceremony. The officiant asks if there are members from both the bride and groom's families who wish to stand and express a few words, accepting the new member by name into their family. Select one or two family members from each side to speak ahead of time. That way they'll have something prepared. My love note for today: the oldest tradition began as someone's bright idea.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I was always tired, with weekly bouts of indigestion. A friend asked me, when was the last time you did a detox? Never, I said, so she recommended Active Liver.
Our liver works hard every day to remove toxins from processed foods and unclean air and water. But too many toxins can overwhelm the liver, causing it to actually store toxins in our body fat. Low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation are all telltale signs that we need to act. Water or juice fasts can help, but often require days or weeks of feeling tired and sick. Thankfully, there's an easier way. Active Liver from New Nordic is a natural supplement that helps your liver effectively eliminate toxins on a daily basis, leaving you feeling better with more energy and less bloating.
Within a week of taking Active Liver, I was feeling better, and now I have more energy than I've had in years.
Available in both tablet or delicious gummies, you can find Active Liver online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS or Meijer grocery.
Get that graduate something special or the Father's Day gift you've been wanting at B&L Jewelers. They've increased their buying power for you. They're loyal customers at the Big Deals online store. You can purchase a $50 gift certificate from B&L Jewelers for just $29, or get this, 4 $50 gift certificates, a $200 value for just $100. That means you only pay half price. Stay in style with a visit to Anderson's Lifestyle Boutique in Danville. Get a $50 gift certificate for only $35. $10 gift certificates to the Bread of Life in Liberty are just $7. Give that sweet tooth what it wants at Sweets by Cindy in Junction City. $10 gift certificates are half price is $5. Applebee's Grill and Bar in Danville. Get a $10 gift certificate for just $7.50. $22 Pioneer Playhouse gift certificates are back. You get an entertaining $5 savings at just $17. Come clean with a visit to Thoroughbred Auto Wash in Danville. $20 car washes are just half price at $10. Check out these and many more great savings at our Big Deals online store at HometownLive.net. HometownLive.net.
Pioneer Playhouse is celebrating 76 years in the Bluegrass. We are Kentucky's oldest outdoor theater, and we're right here in Danville. Don't miss our 76th anniversary season under the stars. Our 76th season in the Bluegrass kicks off with The Game's Afoot, a Sherlock Holmes mystery, June 6th through June 28th. Sherlock Holmes meets Clue in this funny, fast-paced murder mystery comedy set in a spooky mansion with a suspiciously sublime lineup of suspects. A whodunit that will keep you guessing and giggling until the very end. Rated PG. In case of light rain, shows will continue outdoors. Rain checks will be given if show is canceled due to severe weather. Pioneer Playhouse is located at 840 Stanford Road in Danville. Dinner and show only $40. $22 for just the show. Kids rates and group discounts available. Reservations must be made online or by calling the box office. 859-236-2747 or go to pioneerplayhouse.com for tickets. When the sun goes down, the stars come out at Pioneer Playhouse.
Hi, it's Daryl, the cigar sommelier and owner of Smokin' Bourbon. I know you guys have been waiting, but the wait is over. We are now open for business. So come on down to Smokin' Bourbon, where you can smoke, sip, and chill.
Central Kentucky's newest cigar bar in Danville by the bowling alley in the Greenleaf Shopping Center. This big boss atmosphere is veteran-owned with connoisseur quality cigars and bourbon, creating a social destination. For more information, go to smoke-in-bourbon.com.
Now open.
We love NASCAR. Catch the races here on WHIR AM 1230.
Hey, there you go. It is Wednesday, the 28th day of May, 859-238-WHIR. The phone number to call in, 238-9447. So glad to have you on the Joe Show on this Wednesday morning. Grub Gab, where you can always just eat it. Here we go. Starting off with Sonic, where just in time for Sonic announced the launch of the new lineup of Sweet Top Lemonades in partnership with 3 of pop culture's most popular authors, Christina Lauren, Abby Jimenez, and Ashley Poston, available starting June 2nd, with early access for Sonic app users beginning yesterday. Sonic's new Sweet Top Lemonades make it easy to enjoy summer, whether you're relaxing with a good book or heading out on an adventure, all while supporting local schools with every sip. To mark the launch, Sonic teamed up with beloved authors Christina Lauren, Abby Jimenez, and Ashley Poston to show how simple and delicious it can be to help public education in your own community. This summer, enjoying these craveable drinks means giving more students access to the books and resources they need. Available in classic lemonade, strawberry lemonade, and blueberry lavender lemonade, the new Sweet Top Lemonades combine tart, all-natural lemonade with smooth cold foam for a craveable spin, making each sip just as delicious as the next. In addition, Sonic is also partnering with First Book, a nonprofit committed to the increasing educational opportunities of low-income communities to provide 100,000 books and inspire more children to discover the joy of reading while building a strong foundation for their future. Sweet Top Lemonades can be found in the Sonic app beginning yesterday. Krispy Kreme has announced that it's welcoming back its fan-favorite strawberry original glazed donut beginning May 30th and going through June 1st after fans helped Krispy Kreme give away 45,000 free original glazed donuts during hot light hours between May 12th to 18th. As a part of Pac-Man's 45th birthday celebration and nod to his love of fruit, the strawberry glazed donuts made their return, making only its 4th appearance since debuting in 2020 and lasting in August of 2023. The strawberry glazed donut, a classic original glazed donut, is coated in bright strawberry flavored glaze, will be available in stores and for pickup for delivery through Krispy Kreme's app and website at participating locations, and fans can get a dozen for $5 with the purchase of any regular priced donut from Friday through Saturday. And Starburst, bustin' with goodness. They just dropped a new line of candy that lets you enjoy your favorite chewy treats while feeling a little better about the ingredients inside. The plant-based Starburst goodies deliver juicy, gummy flavor with less sugar and fewer calories, and they're made with real fruit juice. Similar to the benefits we've seen with Wellness Soda, these new snacks are free of unnecessary additives and come boost with fiber. There you go. Starburst goodies, what they call them. They're on the shelves. Starburst goodies. Krispy Kreme welcomes back strawberry glazed. And Sonic has new Sweet Top Lemonades. Grub Gab, where you can just eat it. It's 8:47 in the morning and 58 degrees here in Danville. We'll see what's going on out in the world of music on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B coming up next.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know. Generations of serving our community, immunizations, prescriptions, and so much more. Helpful people, free local delivery, mobile app refills right to your door. Visit SuttonRx.com. Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on Maple Avenue.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. Yesterday, Boyle County advanced to the 12th Region Baseball Finals with a 2-1 win over Somerset. The Rebels scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th on a suicide squeeze. Boyle will face West Jessamine, which blanked Pulaski County 1-0. First pitch is set for 6 o'clock this evening for Boyle County hosting West Jessamine on Z105. The 12th Region Fast-Pitch Softball semifinals were postponed yesterday and will be played Thursday at Southwestern. At 8 o'clock, Boyle County plays host Southwestern on Z105. West Jessamine meets Pulaski County at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Congratulations to Boyle County Middle School, which was one of the Final Four schools in Kentucky's middle school baseball playoffs held this past Saturday at Lindsey Wilson College in Columbia. Boyle lost to eventual champion South Warren 2-1 in extra innings. The Eagles had 2 hits, South only 1. BC tied it up in the 6th, then had the potential lead run thrown out at the plate in extra innings. South Warren blanked Anderson County in the championship game 10-0. Anderson had eliminated Corbin 10-5. In the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals last night, Indiana defeated New York 130-121. The Pacers lead the Knicks 3-1. In the NHL West Finals, Edmonton downed Dallas 4-1 for their 3rd consecutive win. The Women's College World Series begins tomorrow in Oklahoma City. Florida plays Texas, Oklahoma meets Tennessee, Texas Tech faces Ole Miss, and UCLA takes on Oregon. In Major League Baseball yesterday, it was the Reds 7, Royals 2, Dodgers 9, Guardians 5, Phillies 2, Braves nothing, Cardinals 7, Orioles 4, and Cubs 4, Rockies 3 in 11 innings. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hi, this is Don, your small business marketing expert. It's never been more important to keep in touch with current and potential customers. So whether you need to let your current customers know that you're open, get new customers for your business, or just generate more cash flow, radio can help. And radio dominates the car. Over 80% of people in their cars overwhelmingly use radio before going shopping. No other media comes close. Also, if the budget is important, radio has the best ROI of any media. That's right, it beats the internet, TV, billboard, and all other media. Your dollars reach more people and work harder with radio. So call us today and find out how radio can help grow your business.
Hi, I'm Robert Wagner, General Manager at Hometown Radio Network. Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to AdvertiseCentralKentucky.com. That's AdvertiseCentralKentucky.com.
The Irvin Real Estate Group has joined forces with Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers and is here to serve you for all your real estate needs with real estate offices now in 6 central and southeastern Kentucky locations. Whether you're looking to sell or buy a home, farm, or commercial property, remember Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers, give us a call at 859-792-2611. Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. Weichert works.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Jack, appreciate that, buddy. Brought to you by our friends over at The Little Sign Shop are new owners and operators. The Little Sign Shop has got you covered. They do full-color digital printing, magnetic signs, auto signage, and they offer logo design in Danville, where 2nd and 4th Streets meet. Call them 859-238-7391 for The Little Sign Shop. All right, you get cloudy skies and rain showers. High of 74, low tonight 58, and a drizzly day. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 77. Friday, mostly cloudy and 70. Right now, it's 8:53 in the morning, and we are looking at 58 degrees in Danville. 859-238-WHIR. That's 238-9447. And we'd love to have you right here on the radio on The Joe Show. I have not been able to completely look at this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history. Didn't get all the songs loaded up. So give me another 2 minutes or so. We'll listen to the NBC Health Report and come back and give you this date in music history.
The Food and Drug Administration is issuing an alert related to allergy medications Zyrtec and Xyzal. It says patients who stop taking the medications after long-term use may experience rare but severe itching. Itching was reported by people who use the medicines every day for months or years and then stopped use. The FDA said many reports described a significant impact on quality of life. In 90% of cases, restarting use of the medications stopped the itching. New research predicts that the deadly infection-causing fungi will spread as global temperatures rise. Scientists from Manchester University use computer simulations and forecasts to map the possible spread of Aspergillus, a common fungi group found around the world. The researchers found that certain species of the fungi group will expand into new regions as climate change continues, spreading into parts of North America, Europe, China, and Russia. The species can cause severe infections in humans and is resistant to many antifungal medications. Health Update, I'm Scott Pringle.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Shannon Skimmerhorn. Actually, my maiden name is Fiedler. I'm from Harrisburg. I actually went with Welch Homes twice. Bought my second house, and I worked with Chrissy both times. My experience actually was very awesome. My sister had used her as well. It was actually a very good experience. Chrissy was pretty much available for me 24/7. She answered all my questions. She was always there. She definitely knows what she's doing, and she's definitely a great person and great company to work with. I absolutely would recommend Welch Homes 100%.
Step into Papa's Quick Stop number 7 across from the Boyle County Fairgrounds and discover the enchanting world of Candleberry candles in the huge Candleberry Corner. Refresh your world with an array of fresh cargo scents for your car for just $1.99. Tantalizing tarts, $7.99. Delightful room sprays for $9.50. Small jars are $14.99. Large jars, $25.99. Grand candy jars for $89.99. And a large selection of cookie jars for that special someone at $159.99. Visit Papa's Quick Stop number 7 across the Boyle County Fairgrounds on the bypass for an exhilarating experience like no other.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
Eight 859-238-WHIR. Phone number to call in, 238-9447. Love to have you on the show as we see what's gone on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history. Starting off with this date, 1945, where American musician, singer, and songwriter John Fogerty was born.
Someone told me long ago, bells are calm before the storm. I know.
There you go. Creedence Clearwater Revival, of course, was the John Fogerty frontman and They were such a massive hit in the late 60s, early 70s. Bad Moon Rising, 10 other U.S. top 30 hits. And the 1970 U.S. #1 album, Cosmo's Factory. After CCR parted ways in 1972, Fogerty had a successful solo career himself. On this date, 1945, John Fogerty, Creedence Clearwater Revival, was born. Happy birthday. 80 years old today. It was on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history in 1966, where this artist started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. charts with this song. When a Man Loves a Woman, a #4 hit on the UK charts, and #2 and reissued in 1987. When a Man Loves a Woman, before the recording session, the song had no title or lyrics. The session proceeded with the expectation that Sledge would produce them for the vocal takes. When it came time to record the vocals, Sledge improvised the lyrics with minimal pre-planning, using the melody as a guide for the rhythm and the phrasing. The performance was so convincing that others working on the session just assumed Sledge had written the lyrics down, but he hadn't. It was more of an improv for him. On this date, 1966, this song started a 2-weeker at #1. And it was on this day in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history in the year 1983, where this actress and singer started a 6-week run at #1. Is it Cara or Cara? Irene Cara started a 6-week run at #1 on the U.S. charts with Flashdance, What a Feeling. When it comes to like a 50-50 pronunciation of names, I almost always get it wrong. And I got a 50% chance, and I know someone will probably tell me it's Cara, not Cara. I've never heard the name before in my life, so whatever. Taken from the film Flashdance, a #2 hit in the UK charts, Irene Cara. Also appeared in TV's Roots and The Next Generation as an actress. This was her song, Flashdance, What a Feeling. On this date, 1983, which started a 6-week run at #1. There you go, 9 o'clock in the morning. Top Hour News is coming your way next, and we're talking with Heritage Hospice at 9:10 this morning on The Joe Show.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 9 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The Trump administration is expanding its scrutiny of college students from other countries. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez.
President Trump's crackdown on international students is intensifying. His administration ordering embassies to stop interviews for student visas as the State Department prepares for an expanded social media screening for applicants.
The order came in an internal cable signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and seen by several news organizations. It isn't clear how the social media vetting would work or what it would screen for. The COVID vaccine is no longer being recommended by the CDC for pregnant women and healthy children. More from Mark Mayfield.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made the announcement in a video posted on X Tuesday.
Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data.
Previously, the CDC had recommended the vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. This comes after the FDA announced last week that new COVID shots would no longer be routinely approved for healthy children and adults. There isn't a COVID shot mandate for anyone in the U.S. I'm Mark Mayfield.
A new highly contagious COVID strain is being discovered in several states, including California. More from Tammy Trujillo.
The strain was found as early as mid-April with additional infections in Washington state, Virginia, and New York.
Connecticut police have arrested a person of interest in Tuesday's mall shooting that injured 5 people. Waterbury Police Chief Fernando Spagnolo.
There are several victims suffering from gunshot wounds. They were all transported to local hospitals. Currently, they're being worked on and receiving medical treatment, and there are no fatalities at this time.
Police say some of the injuries are worse than others, but all 5 victims are expected to survive. Abortions are back on hold in Missouri after the state Supreme Court lifted 2 injunctions preventing enforcement of Missouri's near total abortion ban. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Selling Casino Sioux City is hiring at 2 epic venues, Encore Hall and Breakout Space. Join us in the hotel lobby for our job fair on Thursday, May 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. and Saturday, May 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. We're hiring cooks, servers, and banquet setup to keep the party going. On-the-spot hiring. All availabilities welcome. To skip the line, apply at HardRockCasinoSiouxCity.com before you arrive. Must be 18 or older. Hard Rock is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
A court appearance is scheduled for today for the crypto investor arrested last week for allegedly holding another investor captive and torturing him in Lower Manhattan. More from Scott Pringle.
John Waltz, known as the Crypto King of Kentucky, is accused of holding the victim inside his 6-story townhouse for more than 2 weeks while torturing him in an effort to get his Bitcoin account password. A second suspect in this case, William Duplessis, surrendered Tuesday. The victim says the suspects pistol whipped him, used a chainsaw to cut his leg, and electrocuted him, among other things, before he escaped. Police say more arrests are possible in this case.
A woman who worked as a bartender alongside late General Hospital actor Johnny Wachter is suing the bar in downtown Los Angeles where they worked. More from Daniel Martindale.
The woman who filed the lawsuit on Tuesday claims the Level 8 bar did not provide she and Wachter with a safe place to work and park. The woman was walking with Wachter last May when he was shot to death after confronting thieves trying to steal the catalytic converter off his car. The lawsuit says the woman quit her job after dealing with what she witnessed. The woman also claims the owners of the bar never offered condolences to Wachter's family or asked how she was doing.
A penthouse loft that became famous in the classic film Psycho can now be yours for about $2 million. The loft was built in 1930 on the roof of an 11-story high-rise in downtown Phoenix. It has 2 beds, 2.5 baths, and a scenic view of the Phoenix skyline, including Camelback Mountain. It also comes with a gym, a pool, and valet parking. Fans of director Alfred Hitchcock will recognize the loft from the iconic opening scenes of the 1960 horror classic Psycho. And if you have the money, you can now live there. The Psycho loft is on the market for $2.2 million. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Europe is, they're making Putin rich by buying his gas and oil, and they've been funding his war machine the entire time. President Trump said Putin has gone absolutely crazy after this weekend. It's insane. He's just indiscriminately taking out civilians left, right, and sideways. And Russia is declaring Trump's peace deal is dead. Okay, fine. If it's dead, then let the world stand against Putin, especially Europe. Stop making the guy rich. Just like in the Middle East, stop turning a blind eye to the sanctions that work and cut off the Iranian mullahs' funding. And don't let them sell oil. Don't give them waivers like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags, hand-sewn, to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Announcing the absolute online-only estate auction of the late Shelby Reed's Brick House and Lot, 1964 Corvette, 2014 Toyota Tundra, and personal property located at 311 Redwood Drive, Stanford, Kentucky, with bidding ending Thursday, May the 29th at 6 p.m. on FordBrothersInc.com. The Brick Ranch-style home offers a large living room, kitchen, dining area, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, central gas heat, central air, city water, and sewer. The house is situated on a nice lot measuring approximately just under 1 acre. There's a detached frame garage and outbuilding. Also selling a 1964 Corvette with 39,640 miles, 2014 Toyota Tundra 4x4 with 88,890 miles, Cub Cadet riding mower, and a host of other personal property. For more information, log on to FordBrothersInc.com or call 800-435-5454.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Ephraim McDowell Health is making it convenient for students to get the physicals they need for school, camp, or sports. Beginning on June 1st through August 31st, physicals will be available at various Ephraim McDowell Health facilities for $35 each, paid at the time of the service. You can get those at a number of Ephraim facilities. There are 12 different facilities offering them. Remember, school-age children must have a physical before starting kindergarten and the 6th grade, and are required for middle and high school students who plan to play sports. Speaking of Ephraim McDowell, they'll be offering a free hernia screening day. It'll be Saturday, June 14th at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where not only screenings will take place that day from 9 to 11 in the morning on the 2nd floor, but also experts will share information about the condition. Individuals who may benefit from this include those with swelling, a bulge or pain in the abdomen area, pain or discomfort, especially when bending over, coughing or lifting, weakness, pressure or a feeling of heaviness in your abdomen, frequent heartburn, and acid reflux. The screening is free, but registration is recommended by calling 859-239-2010. Memorial Day typically brings about the start of summer pool season. However, in Danville, the 2 splash pads are down for maintenance. Danville Boyle County Parks and Rec said that due to mechanical issues at Lexington Avenue and Michael Smith Parks, the splash pads are inoperable. The good news is the Bunny Davis Pool is open, and Anderson Dean Park Pool in Harrodsburg is also open. The Great American Brass Band Festival is officially just 1 day away. It starts tomorrow with a gallery hop at 4:30 on Main Street in Danville, followed by downtown downbeats at Wisiger Park. Friday's action includes the popular Bayou and Brass at 4 o'clock, this year going on at Center College's campus. On Saturday, music will begin early at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll pause at 11 o'clock for the Main Street Parade, then resume again at 12 noon. You can see the full schedule of events online at gabbf.org. And a plea deal has been reached in a Lincoln County murder nearly a decade after it happened. In September of 2016, 22-year-old Desiree Sparks went missing in Danville. Her body was later discovered by people who were out four-wheeling in a remote part of Lincoln County. 4 years later, John Stamper was arrested and charged with murder. And on May 20th, Stamper issued an Alford plea, meaning he maintains he's innocent, but also admits the prosecution has enough evidence to potentially convict him. Stamper will be sentenced on Friday afternoon in Boyle County Circuit Court. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Rayleigh, appreciate that. It's brought to you by our friends over at the Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts, up to 50% every single day. Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. All right, cloudy skies and patchy fog. A high today of 74, low tonight 58. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 77. Friday, mostly cloudy and 70 is the high. Right now, it's 9:11 in the morning, 59 degrees here in Danville, and so glad to have you on the Joe Show. 859-238-9447 is the phone number to call in, 238-WHIR, and we'd love to have you on the show. But right now we've got Heritage Hospice in studio with us, and we've got Jacob Bryant, who is a chaplain there at Hospice, and we have Ashley, who is the Counseling Services Coordinator at Heritage Hospice. And I've known Jacob since Jacob was about 2 months old, and I was just born. I mean, we've known each other forever, and Jacob is glad to have him in the studio for the first time here on the show. And we've had Hospice in studio before, but never had Jacob and Ashley in studio, and a very important topic that we're talking about that's coming up next week. It is the Sarah's Heart Camp for Kids. And Jacob, Ashley, appreciate you all being on. Introduce yourself to our listening audience. First of all, tell us a little bit about the Jacob and Ashley story here.
Well, hey, there we go. Yeah, no, Joe, appreciate you. And I was just thinking on my way here, I was like, I've called in so many times. I've done baseball games with you.
Yeah, that's right. We called a couple of games together.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I've never been on the show.
Yeah, like the morning show.
The studio.
Yeah.
I always listen to it. I usually get James the gardener. Shout out to James.
Yeah.
Getting my gardening stuff in there. Nothing against Harrodsburg. I live there, but I ever since you came over to Danville, Radio Rick took over there, I changed my
well, you work in Danville, so like your work day is spent here while I'm on the air, so it makes perfect sense to listen here.
And a lot of our people listen to you guys, so we want to make sure to be with you. No, hey, we just appreciate you guys. We do have an event close to our heart next week that we feel is a good staple in our community. And I think I wasn't there pre-COVID, but I think since COVID, we're starting to get our numbers back up with these campers, and really excited about the group that we've got coming next week. It's open to the community. Let me say that first and foremost.
Okay.
Open to the community. A lot of people think that you have to, the
have
loved
been served by Hospice or something?
Served. Does not have to be that way. As a matter of fact, it's probably about half and half.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and so we just want to make sure that the community knows we serve Mercer, Boyle, Garrett, and Lincoln. So anybody in those communities, and really outside of those communities, I think we had somebody outside last year come and attended our camp. But we just want to get the word out to everybody. Like you mentioned, next week we're still taking sign-ups.
Okay.
And would love to connect with us. First and foremost, before we get into it, you do that by contacting Ashley at the office. And you can do so at 236-2425. We'll say it again multiple times during this segment, or you can email at aarnold@heritagehospice.com. So we're really excited. Thank you for letting us come on.
Yeah, so it's Friday, June the 6th. It is called the Sarah's Heart Camp for Kids. And so tell us, what is this camp specifically designed for? Obviously for kids, but what kind of kids are you all gearing towards having come to this camp?
Yes. So this is aimed for kids that have had a loss. We say recent is within like the last year or two loss, and it could be a loss of anyone significant in their life. The camp is geared towards kiddos ages 6 through 12.
Okay.
Although we're a little lenient on that, especially if we've got a sibling that is attending that's in that age range. But again, I mean, it's open to the community. This is a free camp. We're so grateful for our sponsorships within the community. So there's no cost to the camper to attend, and it's a great time. We focus obviously while we're there and on the loss, but it's also true camping experience. We do walking, hiking, swimming. We have a really good time.
Yeah. So what is, let me ask you this. Obviously, this is a very important targeted group for kids who have lost a loved one. You said kind of lenient, but in the last year or so, and I think oftentimes you think parent, but it can be anybody, parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, someone that's close to them that they looked up to, that they loved. Why do you think a camp like this is important for these kids that are grieving to be able to come to an event like this? And what do you think it kind of provides them?
Yeah, great question. Just the unity. I think being around children that have had loss, doesn't have to be the exact same loss. But I think just being around those that have experienced similar losses. And two, it gives them this safe outlet to express their grief. And then we're teaching healthy coping techniques too while we're there.
Yeah. I think when, speaking from someone who has obviously lost a family member, as most of us have listening, you feel like when that happens, like you're almost alone, right? Like no one else is going through the thing that you're going through, and for kids to understand and see a bunch of other kids in that same age group they're in that has also experienced loss. Like you said, it's a unity thing. It helps you understand you're not going through this thing alone. There's other people that's experienced the same exact thing that you have.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I agree with that, too. And what's amazing is a lot of times we'll get to camp and these kids won't even know each other. By the end of the day, they're best friends. And their grief is what brings them together. Their mourning brings them together and makes them feel like they're not alone. What's amazing is we just started this past year. I don't know if it's a good shout-out for you guys or not, but Chick-fil-A has hooked us up to allow us to have a night before the camp to meet the campers. What do we call it? Kickoff?
Kickoff
night.
Kickoff Chick-fil-A kickoff night.
Chick-fil-A kickoff night. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And they feed the campers. They feed the staff, and I think a parent as well. And, you know, during that time, that's really when the kickoff really starts, where the kids start to really get to know each other, get to know their stories, sometimes who they've lost. And then that day of camp, you know, on the way out there, the bus ride is usually like really quiet. But on the way back,
it's the opposite.
They're pumped,
They've spent all day together.
They're rolling.
They've gotten to know each other. So you all serve, is it a 5-county area?
You were close. 4.
Boyle, Mercer, Garrett, Lincoln.
You got that right.
So you're looking for kids from those areas specifically?
We would like those areas, but we're not limited to those areas.
Okay, yeah.
There's other hospices that provide bereavement camps, but we think that ours is the best. And so we operate like ours is the best.
Yeah.
And so we want kids to come to our camp.
And if there's a need, we want to meet the need. Yeah.
So if mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever is listening this morning, and they hear this information and they say, you know what, this sounds like something that my son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, whoever has experienced a loss, this sounds like something they would enjoy. How can they start to get the ball rolling? Again, this is next Friday, and so we're getting close. It's June Friday or Saturday? Friday, June the 6th. It's coming up. So let's kind of get this ball rolling. How can they do that?
Yeah, so call the office, 859-236-2425, and ask for Ashley Arnold. Or you can email me at aarnold@heritagehospice.com. And again, that number, 859-236-2425.
It's for ages 6 through 12, for kids ages 6 through 12. It is the Sarah's Heart Camp for Kids, bereavement camp for children ages 6 through 12 who have experienced a loss. This is a fun day of just activities and games and experiencing this day camp for kids ages 6 through 12. Now, we've talked about kind of the generalities of it, the specifics, like what happens at the camp, how long will the kids be there, what activities are they going to do. We're going to talk about that coming up next here on The Joe Show. It's 59 degrees on this Wednesday morning, the 28th day of May, as Heritage Hospice joins us in studio this morning here on The Joe Show.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
In Kentucky, we know the unexpected can strike at any moment, whether it's a tornado, flood, or severe storm. Being prepared could save lives. That's why it's vital to have an emergency plan. Know where your local shelter is. Keep an emergency kit with essentials like water, food, and medicine, and make sure your family has a communication plan in place. Boyle County, we're stronger when we are prepared. For more information on how to get ready, visit Boyle County Health Department's Division of Emergency Preparedness online at boylehealth.com. Stay safe, stay ready. This message was brought to you by your friends at the Boyle County Health Department.
Are you considering starting a business or expanding your existing business? Are you looking for a stable partner you can trust to help you understand your options? This is Ricky Peterson. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank at the Danville Main Street office. As a part of your community, I'm here to help you understand the best options for you today and in the future. Give me a call at 859-236-9822. Let me show you what Uniquely Kentucky means. Whitaker Bank, Uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 9:22 in the morning, 59 degrees. We've got Jacob Bryant and Ashley Arnold in studio. Jacob is a chaplain for Heritage Hospice, and Ashley Arnold is the counseling services coordinator. And they're here to talk about the Sarah's Heart Camp for Kids for children who've experienced loss of a loved one in the last year or so, and getting these children together, ages 6 through 12, and letting them just have a fun experience together. And it goes on Friday, June 6th. I'm going to keep on wanting to think Saturday. Friday, June 6th, a day camp at Camp Horse and Around. So when you talk about the activities that day, getting the kids together, letting them have fun, what kind of things do they do in this day camp on Friday, June the 6th?
Well, most importantly, we eat.
Okay.
We eat very well.
You get to eat Chick-fil-A the day before. You get to eat
Big
the
City
day of the
Pizza.
camp, Big City Pizza.
Some breakfast and all that good stuff. Now, we meet up at the office, and then, of course, we all bus out together. So that's where you start your day at. You don't have to take your kid to Camp Horse and Around. You come to our offices over there off of Enterprise Drive. I'm not exactly sure the exact, over by the Cancer Center. And the Still, I think, is up there as well.
Yeah.
And so our offices are right there on the right when you first come up. You'll come in the bottom parking lot, drop your kid off. They get a T-shirt, all that fun stuff. They may actually get the T-shirt the night before. I don't remember how we do that. But then we bus out there, and then we start out with a cool little activity as our kids get ready. Ashley, if you want to tell them a little bit about the pillow activity that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. We have done this activity for the past several years, and the kids really seem to enjoy it. They have the option of bringing a clothing item of their loved one that had passed away. And what's really neat is we make a really special pillow out of that material. Now, some of the children may bring it out, a shirt or whatever it may be, but then they, decide that they don't want to cut into the material, and that's absolutely fine too. We've got extra material, but again, we have some really crafty committed volunteers that have done camp with us for the past several years, and they actually sew the material into a pillow, and the campers get to take that home.
Okay.
So again, they seem to really, really enjoy that.
Okay, that's the pillow activity.
Yes.
All right. What else is going on?
Yes.
So then we jump from the pillow activity. We get them, make sure they got a good name tag. They color these name tags, and we jump straight to the nature hike, I believe.
Yes,
we switched it up a little bit this year. Jump straight to the nature hike. We look for snakes and all that fun stuff. No, we don't try to look for snakes, but we go down, and that's a good little bonding activity.
Yeah.
The kids love it. They go down and try to catch crawfish, crawdads, and, a lot of these kids, they've never played in a creek. We grew up playing in creeks, and these kids, at first they're kind of like, I don't want to get in this creek, and then by the end of it, they're swimming like neck high in this creek.
Mm-hmm.
It's only about, ankle high the creek is. Somehow they just find these pockets.
Yeah, they're wading in it.
They're wading in it. We're having fun. We try to find who can find the biggest, crawdad, and we go from there. So then we jump back up, and then we have a couple of bereavement things that we do, like we have a book that we read.
Yeah.
Then, of course, they love going to the pool. We have lunch in there as well.
Yeah, we also do a Ask the Doc.
Ask the Doc.
Dr.
That's right.
Chatham is our medical director, and the kiddos get to write questions for the doc. And
So like medical questions or like anything?
Whatever they want to. So we
Okay.
get some funny questions,
We do. Yeah.
but then we also get some really heartfelt, serious questions too. And so again, just another really neat activity that we do that the kiddos really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Any question really, and I try to set the questions up.
Yeah.
Gotta
Give her some
Doc.
good ones.
Try
huh?
to give her some really good ones.
Give her one she can knock out of the park, and then you're throwing her a 0-2 change
That's
over
right.
the dirt.
Oh,
right?
listen, I'm throwing all kinds of off speed. And here's the thing too. What's amazing about Ask the Doc is some of these questions. So they write them down on paper, and they don't have to put their name on them. But some of these questions are very important to the grieving process because they're questions that these kids are thinking.
Yeah.
And these parents don't even know they're thanking them. And then you put a doctor in front of them, and it's like they have this avenue, they have this opportunity to unlock this closed door to help them through their grieving process.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. I mean, we get questions. I mean, silly questions like how many kids do you have, or
why do you burp?
Yeah, why do you burp? How much money do you make as a doctor? To like, what does esophageal cancer do to my mom?
Or why did my loved one die?
Yeah.
So that's the Ask a Doctor segment.
Yes.
And then any other activities after that?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a new activity that we're doing this year where the kiddos get to paint a birdhouse. And again, we're teaching them ways to channel their grief and their grieving through healthy avenues. What's really, really neat about the painting a birdhouse this year is the birdhouses were actually made by a family that we served their loved one. And this gentleman, he kind of poured his grief into making these wooden birdhouses, and he's donating them to camp for the kiddos to get to paint this year. So we're really excited about that, and again, it's something else for them to take home.
Yeah.
So just very, very neat.
Seems like, I mean, you talk about a wide array of activities, different things that the kids can hop from one activity to the next. And we know kids, they want to do one thing and go to the next thing, right? And so you've got this entire day of activities lined up. What time does it start? What time does it end? And do the parents go with the kids? And how does that work?
Good question. So the campers need to be dropped off at the hospice office, 120 Enterprise Drive in Danville at 8 a.m.
Okay.
We pull out, and then the parents and guardians leave. They do not come to camp with the campers. We pull out of our office at 8:30 to arrive at Camp Horse and Around by 9. And then we're usually there at camp from 9 till about 4:15. And then again, we're busing the campers back to the hospice office where the parents or guardians will pick them up. And pickup time is at 4:30 at the hospice office.
I can imagine that some parents dropping off their kids 6, 7, maybe especially the younger ones, 8 years old, that there's a little bit of hesitancy for the kid, like they don't want to leave mom or dad or whoever it is dropping them off. How do you all make those kids kind of feel welcome? And then, again, Jacob, you had mentioned bus ride there, quiet, bus ride home, it's loud, rambunctious, they've had a great day. So by the end of the day, they're going to have a great time, but trying to get those kids involved and brave enough, quote unquote, to leave who's dropping them off and go to this camp.
Yeah, and the thing is, I did student ministry for many years, and that was always a big question of how do I know my kid is safe and secure? We really try our best, and I think it kind of works out to where we have one-on-one, one volunteer to one kid. Not necessarily one-on-one in the sense that they follow them, but that's how many eyes that we have on them. So especially with our younger kids, we always make sure, hey, that we know where they're at, we know what they're doing. You may feel a little bit nervous about that, but I promise it's really localized when we get to camp where everybody does everything at the same time. There's not different groups going anywhere. And if there is any kind of special needs, sometimes we have special needs where there are allergies or something else that's going on with a student, a kid. We try our best to make sure to know what those are. We wear name tags. And a lot of times on our name tags or in emails before, we have a good picture of who each kid is and what to watch out for, especially with our younger ones. But they're completely safe, completely secure. Of course, Camp Horse and Around, if you've never been there, I think it's a hidden gem in Bull County. Just so pretty up there, and some of the amenities that they have, the opportunities that they have. So it really, really gives us a good opportunity to keep all the kids together, have eyes on the kids, make sure everybody's safe. We do have a nurse that goes with us, and this year we have an aide that's going with us as well. We have a bag full of first aid kits if we need it. Hopefully we don't. Typically we don't. I don't think we've ever really had to dive into it except for like a bug bite. But yeah, so we've got a nurse that's with us. Of course, Doc is with us for a little bit as well. So there's a doctor that's there, and of course the security. So Jonathan and I will be out there as well, and it'll be a good time. And Ashley's there. I would trust anybody with Ashley, right?
Good stuff. Yeah, I love it.
And I want to add too, like everybody there is either a hospice employee or a hospice volunteer. So they've gone through our training, our background check, our security. So we're very selective on the adults that go to camp.
And obviously this is going to be a great opportunity for kids who have lost a loved one, but for those adults listening and saying, and this is going to be the best news, how much does it cost?
It is completely free.
Yeah, completely free, offered free by Heritage Hospice for the child aged 6 to 12 that you know in your life that may have experienced the loss of a loved one over the last year or so, and they're lenient with obviously the timeline and lenient with the ages too. It's 6 to 12, but if older brother or older sister is going along, just call Hospice. They'll let you know how it works. 859-236-2425. It's Sarah's Bereavement Camp for Kids. 859-236-2425. and talk with Ashley Arnold there at Heritage Hospice. Jacob Bryant, he's a chaplain. Ashley Arnold is the counseling services coordinator, and the Sarah's Bereavement Camp for Kids coming up Friday, June the 6th from Heritage Hospice at Camp Horston Around. Appreciate you all being on this morning.
We appreciate you on the Joe Show.
Absolutely. It's 9:31 in the morning, and Bottom Hour News is underway.
To their vehicles shortly after they were purchased. Huff has pled guilty to wire fraud, conspiracy, and odometer tampering, and sentenced to 18 months in prison. Fees and certain requirements for duplicate government IDs and motor vehicle documents have been suspended in select counties. Governor Andy Beshear signed this executive order to assist Kentuckians affected by the recent natural disasters. All associated fees will be waived for duplicate document or ID requests. Nearly 500,000 students will have healthy meals this summer. The federal Summer Electronic Benefit Transfer Program will give eligible students a one-time benefit of $120 to purchase nutritious food through the summer break. Students aged 6 to 18 participating in the National School Lunch Program or receiving SNAP, K-TAP, or kinship care benefits will automatically be enrolled. Online applications are available until August 15 for students not automatically enrolled. The program is expected to benefit 450,000 students across the Commonwealth. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Wow, Tricky's Car Wash is ready to make your vehicle look its very best. Tricky's Car Wash behind Smart Lube off South 4th Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, and on Saturdays by appointment. Pickup and delivery service is available. 583-0560. Wash only $15. Wash and interior $25. Wash plus wax plus interior $50. And full detail, talk with Tricky. Tricky's Car Wash, 430 Bay Street, 583-0560. Right behind Smart Lube off South 4th. Tricky's Car Wash.
Mike Gay here. At Essity, we're committed to making the world a healthier, more hygienic place, starting right here in Harrodsburg and Danville. We're hiring machine operators where you'll work with cutting-edge technology to produce essential products like hand towels and tissue paper. Our wages start at $20 per hour with benefits on day one and opportunity for growth. If you're a high school grad ready to make an impact, visit ESSITY.com/careers. That's Essity.com/careers.
Danville's deal maker, Bob Allen.
Find new roads at Bob Allen Chevrolet. Live the HD life in a new 25 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. Now Bob Allen priced as low as $49,998. Stock in $25,498. Several HD models in stock to choose from. Bob Allen Chevrolet, located on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at BobAllenMotorMall.com. We are Danville's deal maker.
So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's candy. Delicious flavors of family tradition. Old-fashioned candy since 61. Light, rich, creamy, made by hand. A southern treat, a Kentucky brand. Mom Blakeman's Candy.com. So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's Candy.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by
It's brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Altogether Recovery Center, Danville's first residential addiction center for men, offering life-saving, compassionate care for drug and alcohol addiction. Altogether Recovery Center, it's open now in Danville. All right, you get cloudy skies, rain shower chances. High today 74, low of 58. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, 77 the high. On Friday, mostly cloudy and 70 is the high. It's 9:35 in the morning. It's 60 degrees in Danville, Wednesday, the 28th day of May. And we've got, from the Better Business Bureau on the show this morning, Heather Clary. Good morning, Heather. How are you? Hello.
I'm better I'm better if I remove the mute button.
There you go. We got you on. Now, Heather Clary from the Better Business Bureau. Now, Heather, walk us through about, I don't know how many years ago, 20, 25, 30, I don't know how long ago it was, but you are very familiar with this radio station that you're on right now, WHIR, aren't you?
Oh, my goodness. I was the news director at WHIR, WMGE, back in the late 80s.
Yes. Late 80s, you were the news director. So did you work out of this building right here that we're on Shakertown Road?
Yep. The old fire station, they called it.
Yes, it looks like one. Yeah, the old fire station.
Yeah. I'm 33. It was my first job out of college. I was hired by, if anybody remembers Wayne Perky, rest his soul, he had worked on WHAS for many years, a radio giant in Louisville, and he bought that station as a project and hired a few of us out of the EKU communications department to run his stations, and so that was a wonderful opportunity. I still have a mug he gave me with the logo on it at the time. And, I covered the news down there and lived there for a while, made some friends over at Center College, and went on some other radio places through the years and ended up at the Better Business Bureau, where I have been for the last 25 years, and doing some media and outreach. And so that's why I'm so glad to be on your stations this morning.
Love it.
To kind of educate the public a little bit about what the BBB does, and got some scam warnings and whatnot. I mean, some folks may call us, and I hope they do. We do have some businesses that are BBB accredited that are in your listening area. We appreciate their support because we're a nonprofit, and they're what helps us do what we do.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the scams that have been going on recently. And it seems like, Heather, I've done news stories before on scams, and it's essentially another day, another scam. I mean, it's something every day, and a lot of it's the same kind of theory behind the scam, but recycling different stories and things of that nature. And one thing that we're dealing with in the state of Kentucky right now is the aftermath of storms and flooding. Now, Boyle County did not get hit too bad with the flooding. Obviously, our friends up north in Mercer County got hit really bad. A disaster declaration in that county. FEMA is set up there now. What's some of the ways that we can protect ourselves and the Better Business Bureau can help us in finding legitimate contractors that we can trust to help us after rebuilding from storms and flooding and things of that nature?
Well, if you still have a phone or a computer, it's as close as your fingertips at bbb.org, where you can look up a business you're considering using to see if we have anything on them, what information we have. We grade businesses, A+ through F, based on numerous factors, a major one being the complaint volume. Now, we know businesses get complaints. It happens. However, if a business has addressed it and tried to make things right, then that's great, and that's going to help keep them in good graces with anybody else who uses them.
Okay.
But if you use a BBB accredited business, which you can select and weed those in, you can know that you're dealing with somebody we've checked out who's going to do what they say they're going to do. Kind of helps cut down on when you just Google somebody and you don't know anybody from Adam, So that's one good way to do it. Things to watch out for are storm chasers that may come in from out of town that you don't know. There's also impersonation scams that go on. FEMA has warned in the past, where some people will impersonate FEMA in a matter of going door to door saying, we're with FEMA and we need you to give us your information so that we can help you. And you think, oh, thank goodness they're here. But it could turn out to be a crook that just steals your personal identification information. They can steal your identity. And a lot of them have places set up where you can go to them and it's the real deal.
Yeah. I'm looking at, I know, for example, that we have a business that advertises with us that does tree work, Suttles Tree Care. I looked them up on the BBB website, A+ BBB rating. So just taking that, for example, Heather, and how do companies get A+ ratings? And then how can someone who maybe dealt with a company or a local business and maybe they didn't get the treatment they thought, how can they file a complaint? And then how do you all sort through the complaints and saying this seems legitimate or this person's just angry and wants revenge against this company?
Okay, yeah, that's a lot packed in that question. And thanks, Settle Free Care. They are an accredited business with us.
Yes.
So is Bob Allen, or them advertising. They've been with us a long time.
Awesome.
We grade businesses on an even playing field, whether or not they belong to the BBB. Everybody's got a grading scale. If you're really interested in it, you can look at a report on a website and it says how we calculate ratings.
Okay.
And some of it has to be time in business, number of complaints compared to how much business you do. I mean, if you have 36 customers and you've had 12 complaints in the last year and a half, that might be a lot. If you have 3,000 customers and you have 30 complaints in the past year and a half, that's not so many. And as long as you've, tried to address those and not ignored them, those things that figures into that. Now, if you want to be accredited with the BBB, that's an extra step. You make some promises to us that you're going to do that. If you have a problem with a business, you were asking about complaining, we do offer a dispute resolution.
Okay.
We act as a neutral third party. We are not attorneys. You may have heard alternative dispute resolution, that term used. Courts are often referring things to those avenues to mediate disputes. If the company belongs to the BBB, they're required to reply to the complaint. We have a very thorough process where both sides lay out what's going on. So, if somebody's just wanting to badmouth you, but they can't prove they were a customer or anything like that's going on, that's not going to go anywhere. But if you had a genuine problem and it was something the business did, they're going to try to address that. Sometimes it's something else that maybe didn't come out until the complaint process started, in which case, the business will be shown as, we did what we needed to do, and the rest of it is something else. Every complaint is different. And people can get started with that by going on bbb.org. Now, if you have a problem with a business that's outside of the area, that's where you go to bbb.org. The Better Business Bureau in that area is going to handle the complaint for you if you've ordered something you didn't get or something along those lines. So it's a very transparent process, and you can read about what went on by looking up a business if there were any complaints. If they didn't respond at all, the business isn't required to respond. As I said, we're not a government agency. We're a nonprofit organization. But if they didn't bother to respond, at least just to give their side, that's not so great. And, if you have a problem with them, what might be happening? And then you may be going to somebody else who is going to respond to that because you want to use somebody who's going to pay attention to you and what you need as a customer.
Yeah, let's say, Heather, that we have an individual listening that had some storm damage or multiple people, whatever it may be, and they're trying to sort and filter through what's the next step in getting the house repaired or the car fixed or whatever it may be that the damage was caused to. And they have some people knock on their door and they go on Facebook and they look at ads and things of that nature. Would you recommend the first step being going to bbb.org once they kind of accumulate a list of names and searching them online to find those legit companies?
Well, yeah, or in fact, you don't even have to comb online and stuff and then narrow it down. Narrow it down at bbb.org. When you get on there, you can type in a category of what you're looking for.
Okay.
For instance, tree removal, like you mentioned a minute ago. And then hit your area, Harrodsburg, Danville, Stanford, wherever you are. And then hit the link that says Show BBB Accredited Only, and then up will come a list based on where you are, closest to you to further away. And what's even better is we have a Request a Quote program, where you can click on it. It will send a message to those businesses stating, I need this kind of work. Is this something you could do? And that way, if the business is available, they'll respond back to you and say, why, yeah, let's meet up and I'll take a look. So it makes it real easy for you, and it helps the business, too, because they want to use folks. They want to provide an honest service for honest money and not have you lose it to some crook that blew into town and left and didn't do anything and took your money.
Exactly. So I did just what you said, Heather. I'm on BBB's website. I typed in tree services, and it says near Danville, Kentucky. I clicked enter, and then I clicked on Show BBB Accredited Businesses Only, and here's a list of, there's all kinds of them. A-plus ratings in Lexington, in Nicholasville, in Harrodsburg, in Versailles, and so you can kind of get the ball rolling that way, get quotes that way, pick the business that fits the bill best for you, and get the ball rolling, so to say.
Yeah, and we just get thousands of hits on that nationwide every day because it's just a great tool for people to use. And it can make things a little easier for you, especially if you just don't know where to start. On that website also, we talk about scams. You can go to our BBB Scam Tracker site to report any scams you come across. Or if you wonder if something's a scam, you can put in a keyword and see if other people have reported something similar. So that's something else we invite people to do because it helps us to warn folks. And every year the system puts out an alert about the top 10 scams that were out there. And they tend to be things like anymore cryptocurrency of all things, investment, and just all sorts of romance scams are still out there. Right. Where people would get hoodwinked on Facebook. I mean, you name it. There's scams everywhere, and we just want to help people be warned about them.
Yeah, that is on BBB.org. I'm looking at the scam tracker right now. You click on the 3 lines in the top of the screen, go down to BBB Scam Tracker, and you can report those there and look at the scams that are kind of popping up recently. One of those, Heather, that you say you all have dealt with at the BBB. This is the month of May. Now, we're nearing the end of it, but it is the month of May, and May is considered National Moving Month. It's the season where people are looking to move. You know, school's over, maybe there's a change of jobs, a change of venue, the weather's warmer, people are just making changes, and the BBB has dealt with scams from people who unfortunately hired the wrong moving company when it comes to moving.
Exactly. I mean, you can't just, a lot of people used to use the Yellow Pages, and maybe they still do, but now the equivalent to that these days is Google or whatever you might be on. Yeah, not all moving companies are created equal, and it's going to be a long summer, and a lot of people are going to be moving. So, again, find a good mover at bbb.org, somebody that's local that you can read what kind of experience others have had, get everything in writing. You know, if somebody, we've heard horror tales, they're holding my items hostage on the truck, until I pay more. Things to keep in mind. Most of them want to come and take a visual inspection of what needs to be done to give you a quote. You can't just give it over the phone. I mean, they might be able to tell you what they charge hourly, but how many hours would they need? Mm-hmm. How many guys do you want to hire to do it? Another quick word about insurance on that. A lot of those agreements you sign with movers may offer pennies on the dollar of value if something goes wrong with some of your belongings. And once you sign the paperwork, that's what you get. If you want to buy additional insurance or buy a rider with your own insurance or something like that to cover the rest, it might be something worth looking into so that you aren't stuck with, I got $46 for this sectional sofa that cost me $1,100 and it got torn, that kind of thing. So that's just extra things people may not think about because that's also a stressful time getting a move going.
Yeah. Heather Clary with the BBB. Go to bbb.org. Find BBB accredited businesses and track scams as well on there. Make sure you're staying up to date and you're keeping the money that's yours in your pocket until you need to spend it on something with a legitimate business. It's 9:48 in the morning. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We'll finish up the conversation with Heather. There are always so many text, phone, and Facebook scams going around. We could spend forever talking about those, and we'll touch on some of those coming up next right here on The Joe Show on 103.9 FM. WHIR Danville News Talk Sports with Heather Clary from the Better Business Bureau.
Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Announcing the absolute online-only estate auction of the late Shelby Reed's Brick House and Lot, 1964 Corvette, 2014 Toyota Tundra, and personal property located at 311 Redwood Drive, Stanford, Kentucky, with bidding ending Thursday, May the 29th at 6 p.m. on FordBrothersInc.com. The Brick Ranch-style home offers a large living room, kitchen, dining area, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, central gas heat, central air, city water, and sewer. The house is situated on a nice lot measuring approximately just under 1 acre. There's a detached frame garage and outbuilding. Also selling a 1964 Corvette with 39,640 miles, 2014 Toyota Tundra 4x4 with 88,890 miles, Cub Cadet riding more, and a host of other personal property. For more information, log on to FordBrothersInc.com or call 800-435-5454.
So, Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Serving Boyle County seniors. At A Gathering Place, we promote independence for senior citizens and adults with special needs through social, recreational, nutritional, and wellness programs that enhance quality of life. The activities that we offer are designed to keep seniors active and involved, offer socialization, promote friendship, encourage mental fitness, and positively impact overall health and wellness. To find out more, visit us at agatheringplace.org or follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, JB here. Join me this Thursday as I broadcast live on Z105 from Danville Bike and Footwear. Your chance to win a bike valued at over $600, plus amusement park tickets. There's great door prizes throughout the day, plus free burgers, hot dogs, and Pepsi products. See you Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. from Danville Bike and Footwear on Z105.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
Hey, it's 9:50 in the morning on a Better Business Bureau Wednesday, May the 28th. Heather Clary joins the Joe Show this morning and talking about scams to be aware of and how you can track legitimate businesses as you start to look in, obviously the summer months, time for outdoor projects. Maybe you can't do it all yourself. You want to put a fence in or add a porch on to the back of your house or whatever it may be. Have a tree removed. Make sure that you get a legitimate BBB accredited business by going to bbb.org. Heather, it's a revolving door when it comes to scams. And there's the story from a couple of weeks ago of a Boyle County woman who withdrew something like $20,000 out of her bank account and was going to wire it to someone who I think said her grandson had been arrested or something along those lines. Luckily, the Boyle County Sheriff's Department intervened before she could make it to wire that money to that individual. But it's stories like that every day, Heather, and we got to really make sure that we're keeping people safe and protected and keeping the money in our pocket that belongs to us.
Oh, yeah, and I remember I gave a comment to, I think it was WKYT, did a story about that. And thank goodness for the law enforcement there and the bank the woman went to, because I believe they were the ones that alerted law enforcement. More and more, these agencies are being trained, banks, customer service at grocery stores where people used to buy the MoneyGram cards and whatnot to recognize signs of somebody might be about to fall for a scam. And that's where it just takes everybody. It's a big partnership. So, yeah, anytime you've got to send money, it's an emergency scam, we'll call those. And, yeah, the older folks can tend to be more susceptible to those, especially the old grandparent scam, like you mentioned. That one's still going around where you'll get a call and somebody alleging to be with law enforcement has arrested your grandchild somewhere for being in trouble, and, oh, please don't tell mom and dad. And AI even makes this even easier to fall for. But anytime you've got to act quickly and send money or give information, there's another one we'll hear, the jury duty scam, where people say they've gotten a call allegedly from the sheriff's department in their county. You've missed jury duty, which, you missed jury duty, that's not good. You're going to get held in contempt. However, they'll say, if you just pay this fine, we'll take care of that, and maybe might want you to go get a gift card and read the numbers off of that. Anything where you have to go buy a gift card and give that information to somebody, nobody takes payment that way. Don't do that. If something wants you to act quickly without thinking, actually you should put the brakes on, because chances are it is a scam.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't want to go through the channels, answer your questions, put things in writing, etc., why not? They're going to answer questions if they're legit. So, and if you're not sure, we'd love for you to contact us at the BBB. If you go to our website, we are headquartered in Louisville, the BBB of Greater Kentucky and South Central Indiana. We have staff that works around Central Kentucky as well. I'm in the Lexington area. You can get on bbb.org/Louisville. You'll find our contact information by email, by phone. We're on Facebook at Better Business Bureau Serving Greater Kentucky. And you can find us there in warnings and contact us there. So all kinds of ways you can get in touch with us if you would like to ask a question or report a scam, or if you're a business interested in how the BBB can help you improve your business bottom line. All that stuff's available.
For a business listening, Heather, that wants to become an accredited BBB, Better Business Bureau business listed on the website and things of that nature and have the score, how can they get accredited with the Better Business Bureau?
You can find that information on our website as well. There's a whole section for businesses. and there's a place for you to click to start submitting some information to us so that we can get in touch with you and let you know what's involved, with the benefits you can get from that. And we are a nonprofit organization, and the businesses that support us are what makes it possible. We're a 501c6, much like a chamber of commerce, something of that nature. But we also have a consumer education fund, which is our 501c3. So completely nonprofit, and we would love for businesses to help us do that. It takes a lot to help us do what we do. And we have a few dozen businesses at least that are accredited businesses down there in your counties, Mercer and Boyle and Garrett and all that. So, give us a shout, and we would love to help you with that.
What do you think, Heather, the biggest benefit is for businesses that become accredited with the BBB?
Just trust. I mean, people are calling us and getting on our website and other bureaus as well every day, saying, especially if they've been burned before, but hopefully they're taking a proactive step to not be burned.
Right.
By just saying, well, if they're part of the Better Business Bureau, they're going to do what they mean. And that's what it's trust. It's all about trust. And, as the world goes on, sometimes it's harder to find trust. And the organization of the BBB has been around for well over 100 years. It's still going strong. What does that tell you? It's an organization that means something, and the businesses help fuel it, or what keeps it going.
We're with Heather Clary from the Better Business Bureau. Heather, we hope to make this a monthly segment or so, talking with you. So let me end with this. Is there, I don't want to necessarily call it like the scam of the month, so to say, but is there a scam recently that you've heard of that kind of pops in your ears when I ask you what's maybe a scam that got somebody good or something to be on the lookout for right now?
I tell you, and I'll bet you anybody listening will have received this one, the toll scam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've gotten so many texts about that, yeah.
They are all over the place where you didn't pay the toll, and I've heard a couple people fall for it and paid money to some outfit that had nothing to do with a toll road or a toll bridge. Now, connecting, we'll hear a lot about from RiverLink, which is the company that runs the toll between, Louisville and Indiana, and they even have a big warning on their webpage. We will not text you if you owe. We're going to mail you.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So just something, again, it's another scare tactic. Don't assume it's always from who they say it is.
Yeah. If it's a toll trying to get money out of me, they better send me a letter in the mail with a picture of my car on the license plate on that camera if they want the money. That's the way it's usually done.
Yep, exactly.
There you go. Heather Clary from the Better Business Bureau. BBB.org is the website. Check up on accredited businesses for whatever work that you need. And if you are a business owner would like to become accredited, go to the website, BBB.org, and start the conversation and process of becoming an accredited Better Business Bureau business. Heather Clary, Heather, we appreciate you being on, and we'll talk to you again in the month of June, okay?
That sounds great. Love
yes,
to do it.
Talk to you later. Bye. That's Heather Clary with the Better Business Bureau, and she is working and letting us know what scams to be on the lookout for and how to protect ourselves during this time where there's been storm and flood repairs needed. There's that sad music again. That means my time has come to an end of the Joe Show. Had a blast with you all on this Wednesday morning, and I hope it made the start to your work day just a little bit more bearable. I'm Joe Mathis signing off. I'm back with you tomorrow morning, dark and early, on Danville's one-stop shop for local news, local events, and local voices, The Joe Show, AM 1230, and the brand new 103.9 FM, WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. Until then, God bless. Have a great, fun, and safe Wednesday afternoon. Curtis McPeak's Home Sweet Home leads us home, sweet home. Kentucky Sports Radio is coming your way next.